Got her again!
You bastard.
Hi everybody. Welcome. Wait, that's the wrong live. Give me a second here.
There we go.
We're in the right live. Everybody, welcome to the Drawk Show with co-host Tekking. Tekking, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell everybody how's it going before we introduce our special guest?
Yes, of course, our special guest, Drawk. Nice again to see you once again here. We do this every week, right?
Every
like just
week,
you
yeah.
and me for years. You know what?
For years
Let me talk
now.
about the time that we met when we were in middle school. That was a fun time, you know.
It was a great time.
We've been friends for years, you know. Just like, yeah. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to the Drawk Show Twitch channel and YouTube and everywhere else that we are. We're at a bunch of different locations, right? Yeah.
Do you wanna tell everybody before we get started immediately where they can find you, as you always do?
Oh, of course, absolutely, as I always do. Yes, you can find me at TEKKING101 YouTube channel place, and also TEKKING1001 is the side channel, and Bondcast is where I talk about Bleach. That's where I'm at.
How have I genuinely been watching you for years? Like, literally, I think I was still in high school when I saw your first video, and I didn't know about TEKKING1001. Genuinely?
Yeah, no, like, people, there's still people that'll be like, hey, you should talk about the new Bleach series. And it's like, yeah, I have. It's a separate channel I've had for over a year. He's like, I didn't know. I'm like, I'm horrible at marketing. I'm sorry.
I feel that is the biggest issue we're having with this series, and I have no idea how to market things.
You need yourself a lab. Lab will come in, help you market.
And
all
now
you have
we
is a brick. You need is a lab.
Our
special guest,
yes. on the Drawk. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me here today. I couldn't be more excited. I'm not sure why you asked me, given my D&D background, but I'll do my best.
Yeah. Now you are Mama Drawk, so is there any relation?
Oh, yes, there is. Yeah, that's my mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
the special guest is my mom. Yeah.
Special guest is your mom. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, oh God. Yeah, we might be getting some of the. Oh, we wanted to immediately thank Ozzy Lelowin for 10 gifted subs immediately.
10 gifted subs. Yep.
Wild times. Thank you, Ozzy. I'm super excited to have Tekking on today. I think I'm gonna win still at this D&D, given that Tekking has been a dungeon master many of a time, and Drawk has been a dungeon master. I think, and I've played 1/4 of one campaign. I'm pretty sure I'm the all-around favorite.
Yeah, I think you got this. I'm rooting for you, Mama Drawk.
I'm rooting for you. I don't think you're gonna win, but I'm rooting for you.
There's some positivity. Yeah.
You're kind of behaving like an ass, honestly.
Whoa. She said the word.
You know.
I feel like
Twitch immediately shuts us down.
I feel like I am embracing being the heel here, and I'm gonna try my best, but I do think it decreases the chance that people are gonna vote for me in the end.
Oh, you hope. You hope to God, but I have a dissertation about D&D, and I just wrote my doctoral on it. I haven't played, but I wrote a doctoral.
You have a thesis. You did the Viva Voce on this. You went through the whole 12-step process to get a doctorate just for this stream.
Exactly, because I figured I needed it since I didn't have the game time.
Unironically, when I first started streaming, before we did Mom Piece, I talked about D&D a lot. I did a lot of like, we do need Big Bad Evil, guys. I'll talk about that. I did a lot of content where I was drawing people's D&D characters. That was like the main thing I was streaming at first. And unironically, one of my favorite early guests was a Brazilian woman who was doing her doctorate on D&D, specifically trying to look at personality indicators, both in relationship of if personality indicators became more significant from playing tabletop games, certain ones, or what personality indicators made you more likely to be able to enjoy D&D and other tabletop games. Unironically, that was one of my first guests, was someone doing a doctorate on D&D in Brazil.
That is fascinating. You could, there is very fertile ground for making a doctorate out of that. That actually makes a lot, like for human psychology. Awesome. Oh God, yes.
I would.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I kind of want to check back in with her and see how that went, because like it really is interesting. There's predictions. People can vote.
We need to make a reminder too. Lav is going to be in this one to keep us on track, because she figured that 3 people with high ass energy. Oh my God, I did it again, gentlemen. I apologize. with such high energy, we're gonna be
what high energy? What do you mean? I'm being very, very subtle right now.
This is a chill man. This is a relaxed man.
I'm chill teching. I could dial it back if you want me to. It's all good.
You know what you are right now is you're teching 10. Just teching 10.
Yeah, just teching 10.
Okay, 10.1.
Like, I will tell you, I had a little bit more coffee today than I normally do, so I'm a little bit more wired than usual. So we'll see where that goes.
I might have also.
I have not had more coffee than normal, but I have remembered to take my meds, so we'll see what's up.
Holy shit!
Okay, well, that's good.
That's a big moment. You took your ADHD meds by yourself?
Yeah, I started the day with diet meth.
Yep.
Yeah. So
diet meth. I love that. Yeah.
For anybody who hasn't been here to a party piece before, we're gonna launch proper in a little bit. We're bantering, we're saying hello to everybody, we're getting ready. This is a debate and game show. For anybody who's shown up from Tekking's channel, wants to see him at his best, this is a show where we are going to build our One Piece D&D tables, talk about what the game is like, talk about what people are playing, and you guys are going to be basically choosing which one to sit in on and watch. I am thrilled about this, and Tekking, we told you this, but I can't overstate how much the second we decided we were going to do D&D as the next one, how much the audience was immediately just shouting your name, being Tekking.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Like,
that's nice.
It was the first, last, and everything. They were like, "It's Tekking. You must invite Tekking."
I mean, I do love D&D, and I'm part of a lot of ones online, and I do my own, campaign and stuff. And I also really enjoy just debating stuff about fictional characters. That's just fun in general.
We definitely are going to need to have you back for more party piece in the future then, because we basically, like, I love so much of like who would win discourse, but what I started to realize is that has been so overtaken by who would win scientists who want to calculate the exact math of who is faster than light in what way instead of talking about cool power matchups. So we're trying to do like who would win fun.
That gets to a point with me where there is a moment where it's like, okay, now, like, especially with like Western superheroes, like, okay, the Flash can literally break reality 20 times over. It's like, how do you calculate that?
You calculate it by how many reality breaks we're in.
Yeah. And it's fun to a level. I did a tournament once where we like matched up characters, but I made sure to use characters that were like Mikasa from Attack on Titan, like nobody that's like punching time apart. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I love that. I think I spent a lot of time thinking about like what power level in fiction I like to work with in everything, and for who would wins especially. And it's like, I feel like to me, Dungeon Meshi has found the exact power level I like, where everyone's
Dungeon Meshi's good, yeah.
Everyone's like a little stronger and tougher than reality, but without protective magic. Everybody does die when a big brick hits their head.
Yes. I think the best I like is like Full Metal Alchemist level, where it's like you have crazy stuff, but yeah, you get shot in the head, you're dead.
I love Full Metal Alchemist level of power. I think that's a really good.
I love Full Metal.
Before we get started, there's a who would win game that I came up with that I think you'd like. That's just a fun thing to do on road trips or whatever, which is each person simultaneously thinks of a character in their head, and it can be any character, and you both reveal them at once, and then you work together to find a single sport. To categorize a sport, you have to be in the modern Olympics. A single sport where the weaker person of the two can win.
I cannot believe you're having this conversation. That's fun. Did so many road trips on that.
Well, no, here's the thing. Like, there's a game called Super Fight. It's a card game, and it's basically like one of the ways you could play it is like that, like two characters, like in the like triathlon or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing, and I love it.
It is. I'm sure you would love it. Yes.
The reason we're starting this at all is one day I was watching one of your streams, and you were talking about like who would be the best cook, who would be the best this, and you were pairing people off. Then I was coming in here and we were talking about something, and I was like, well, these people would be the best to have at this party that we were talking about at the time. And then I was like, who would be the very best? And we started talking about Party Piece. I just watched your thing, so we created the idea of Party Piece, and have been pulling in a bunch of different parties. Some of them we're terrified at. People suggested key parties and all sorts of things that we're a little terrified. When they come up, we're gonna crap our pants. But that's where this got birthed, is kind of from watching one of your streams and then having a moment happen afterwards.
Yeah, I did a whole series like this. I did a charity stream for St. Jude in December, and we also had a tournament there for that one.
That was the one.
Robin won that one, and I think the one before that, Karasu won. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, no, no, you were alone because you were just
yeah. Oh yeah, there was a few I did alone. The one with the first tournament I did. Well, the first tournament was with all the Straw Hats. That was by myself, and then I did another tournament with every One Piece character.
Yeah.
That Karasu won that one, and then the tournament I had Spooky and JL helping me out with the charity stream. Yeah,
it was awesome, and I love the vibe.
Well, thank you.
And I thought to myself, damn, this sounds like a fun ass time.
I will be doing more of them in the future. They are always a blast to do.
Look, if you're ever looking to have guests for something like that, I don't know if that.
I will let you know. Well, we've been co-hosts for so long.
Yeah,
you're
you know what? True.
Invited.
That's it. You know what? I didn't think about the backdoor power of this bit is that I just have the weird, subtle leverage of in this moment we're lifelong friends who've been.
Have you read Bleach?
God, I would be willing to binge read Bleach in a week.
Well, there is a character that can literally like insert himself into people's lives, and that is like he messes with memories, and that's basically this right now.
Okay,
yeah.
Can I be real that like I have complained about JJK a lot. It's a thing I've done, and I briefly thought JJK was doing that, and when I found out that they weren't and they were actually playing that straight, I actually got mad, and I'm glad that Bleach did the thing that I thought was cool that I thought JJK was doing.
I mean, there's issues with it in Bleach as well, but I haven't read that much of JJK. I'm up to like halfway through the first season, I think. Yeah.
What is JJK?
We don't need to get into it.
We don't need to. Yeah, it's over now. It's over now, so it doesn't matter anymore.
No, but
it matters.
JJK is an okay manga that has been held up by some of the best animation known to man and made artificially popular by looking incredible. That's my take.
No.
I don't know enough about it to make that distinction if that's like true or not. So I don't know.
If that is so
we
fair.
We are currently reading
I also do know a lot of people who unironically love the manga, so it's just my.
Oh yeah, I mean, like apparently it's very, very popular.
Yeah.
We're currently reading Berserk together, the happiest manga.
I finished that in 23. I read the whole thing of Berserk. Yeah, it's.
And would you agree the happiest manga of all time?
Oh, super happy! It's all rainbows and puppies and unicorns.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Yeah.
Love and happiness and joy hidden amongst death and terribleness and
Every year I try to last couple of years I pick out a really big manga that's been running for a long time that I want to get caught up on. So 23 it was Berserk, and then last year it was Kingdom, and Kingdom has like 800 chapters. So I finally got caught up with that. That's the one about it's not. It's like 200 BC. It's taking place as like the unification of China, and it's really good.
That was one of the first ones that got brought up. We did a stream after we finished One Piece together about what our next manga would be, and that one was, I think, like the first one that the audience brought up that we talked about and considered.
Which one? Yeah, I mean, it's rec. Solid. If you got to rec one to us about what's our after Berserk, what would it be?
I mean, I don't know what you have and have not read yet.
Literally just like, Berserk, Undead Unluck, and One Piece.
Oh wow, that's it. Okay, so read Bleach then. I'll just say Bleach because my channel was built on Bleach and then One Piece, so I'll go with Bleach if you haven't read it.
Okay.
686 chapters. That's all. A lot of them go by pretty quick.
I've been curious about Bleach because it's something that I had a bad rep for a long time with a lot of people whose opinion I trusted, and then they got old enough to realize there's a distinction between manga and anime, and they read the manga, and so many of the people whose opinion I trusted who didn't like it are like, actually, I was wrong. It's really good.
It's one of those for sure that not as bad as Naruto, but there are filler arcs in Bleach that do last a long time, and that can maybe bring down some, like one of the first big filler arcs of Bleach lasts like 60 episodes. It's chunky, so it's not as bad if you go back and rewatch it later, but like if you're trying to watch it in the context of the story, it can drag.
That does make sense.
And how's the art?
Oh, the art is amazing. Like, okay, so Kubo doesn't like, okay, he's much more in manga format about like powerful characters, not so much backgrounds. Like so if you're reading a lot of Bleach, a lot of backgrounds will be just pure white, but like that's kind of that's his style. That's what he does. Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's so many advantages to that. Like, I love the way Oda draws for One Piece because it's a story that feels like it's so much more about the world than anything. But there's huge consequences to it, and like, my only manga I've read with the very sparse white backgrounds is Dragon Ball. Everything else I've read is not One Piece busy, but busier. And
Yeah.
Dragon Ball's choreography and sense of character that the empty paneling gives it is really strong.
Yeah, it's like people complained about it for a long time and like, oh, his art style is like it's boring, there's nothing back there. And I'm just like, that's his style, man. Like, and I think it works fine, you know. It's just it adds more focus on the characters in the scene.
All right. I think
to get into Dragon Ball, actually. One of the ones I want to do is Dragon Ball. One of the ones that was on the list is Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, Hunter x Hunter, 100%. I would recommend Hunter x Hunter maybe actually before Bleach.
Would you?
Yes, because I really love Hunter x
Hunter. Hunter's so good.
And the anime is so good. The I mean, both are really good, but the Studio Madhouse one from 2011 or 2014, I can't remember what year.
Kind of fun for Drawk really because good. I've got nothing. I've read nothing. I'm so new to it. He's read a lot. He has a bunch under his belt, but we also try to find ones that he hasn't read.
Vinland Saga too, I saw in the chat. So Vinland Saga, Bleach, and Hunter x Hunter would be my recommendations. All of them are solid. Yeah.
Vinland Saga was up there too. A bunch of people really
that was actually the one, I think, that when we were debating at the end, it came down for you between Undead Unluck and Vinland Saga originally. Like, those were your two choices.
I'm glad we picked Undead Unluck because it's finishing on the 27th.
It's finishing next chapter. I literally just read the chapter while waiting, and like before you guys showed up, I'm just like, I'll just read this chapter real quick. Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's really good.
I think we're ready to go. Are you guys feeling bantered up? I'm feeling warmed up. I'm
ready to go. I'm feeling let's do this. Yeah. Let's build some parties.
Put yourself on big head so that we can see your dice. What? I want to see the dice.
Big face mode. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can click that button and not make Tekking disappear for sure. I can't. Tekking, you're gonna go away for a second.
I've been banished to the Shadow Realm. I'm okay.
I only have like 30 different setups here.
You feel like
you're fine. You can never have enough.
Okay. Hello, one and all, and welcome to Party Piece. This is a debate and game show where me, my regular co-host Tekking, and special guest Mama Drawk are going to be going over our plans for the Ultimate One Piece party. We are hosting a party on the same day, and we are going to be pitching it to you, the audience, for which one you guys want to attend. This is a debate show with a little bit of improv, where we don't know exactly what we're going to have because we're going to be drafting picks the whole time. To start us off today, I'm going to roll D20s. Look at these beautiful colors. Look at
these those D20s. Oh, they're real D20s. I thought they were going to be like,
No, real D20s. I'm a huge nerd. And to say I'm more of a huge nerd so that they're nice and visible, I got the special Magic the Gathering ones that come with fat packs instead of regular D20s you buy at a store. Wait, I can actually make Tekking visible, it turns out. Give me a second here.
So you're fine. I mean, like, I'm like crammed in the corner, so I gotta like stretch, but I can get there.
Yeah, he's visible if we believe hard enough.
I know.
My stream setup is held together with duct tape and paper clips.
Duct tape and staples, baby. That's how it is.
Now, what I need from each of you, special guest Mama Drawk and regular co-host Tekking, is to pick which of these three beautiful colors you like best, and I'll take the other one.
I like the purple. Well, Mama, would you like to go first?
I like orange.
Okay, right. I'll take the weird Duskmorn teal and purple. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like if that was an ice cream flavor, I probably wouldn't eat that. But like, you know,
I have packed away all my dice trays because I'm moving. So I'm going to shake these in my hand, slam these on my sketchbook, and turn the webcam down.
Slam it down! Slam it down!
My hand has been clamped on. There has been no chance to alter it. We will now turn down to look. Okay. I won with a 15. Tekking got a 3. Mama got a 12. Now, infamously, what's great about this is, Mama, you are the most experienced D&D player. Do you want to briefly, for the people at home, talk about your brilliant background with tabletop RPGs?
Thank you. I would. This one time I played a D&D campaign. Yep. We got 1/4 of the way into it, and then that was it.
Okay.
No more.
That's about what most D&D campaigns are. So you seem to be playing it perfectly fine. Yeah.
I just realized that I need to change something again with the stream setup. So luckily this will be edited out for YouTube.
Back on. Your co-host is off.
Yeah, don't worry. I just realized I needed to change because the rig I built didn't have the text I needed to play Party Piece, which is the thing that we're doing. Now,
Drawk, you and your, getting the formats correct. This is a running gag that we've shared for many years.
It's actually funny that you say that as a bit because my chat has a saying, which is it's not a Drawk stream without technical issues.
Yeah, that's the rule. Yeah.
So I'm going to show everybody how a snake draft works because you clearly, Mama, having played the least D&D, needed a disadvantage, and it's generally agreed upon that the one downside of a snake draft is that the middle is kind of the worst pick. So the way that it works is it's a draft in the order like snakes and ladders. So we are going to be each drafting 7 people. 1 will be the dungeon master, 6 will be the players. We will talk about what their roles are, what they're playing as, what the vibe is, all of that lovely chunk of detail. The way that we'll do it is I'll go first, having won the role. Then we move on to Mama Drawk, who got second. It goes to Tekking, and as compensation for picking last, Tekking immediately gets to pick someone who pairs well with the first
it's like
pick.
a snake. Yeah. Okay.
And then it goes back through, Mama picks again, whoop, and look it back to me. And as compensation for having not gone in like 6 picks, I get to pick another one. And we snake all the way down. That's a snake draft, baby.
This is fun.
Yeah.
This is just how old I am because I just immediately started thinking of Snake the game, like on your old cell phones, like do.
The thing is, I think it genuinely is a reference to Snakes and Ladders, which is even older.
Yeah, isn't it Shoots and Ladders?
Wait, have you never played it?
Snakes and Ladders. You call it Shoots and Ladders?
I've always played it as Snakes and Ladders.
Is this like a regional thing? It was always Shoots and Ladders where I played it. Yeah.
All right, Tekking, are you from the Midwest?
I am from Pennsylvania. I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay, so not the, because it has always been Snakes and Ladders everywhere I've seen in British Columbia.
I did not know Snakes and Ladders. I know Eels and Escalators, which is the SpongeBob reference, but like I tell you,
well, that's
regional naming. It has to be because it's always Shoots and Ladders.
I had genuinely no idea this was a thing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Okay.
We call it Snakes and Ladders because you should be very afraid of landing on them.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Maybe they just decided they were taking account for people that are afraid of snakes and they didn't want people to be scared. So I'm just going to
shift our lists into the right position before we start here. There we go. Tekking's list in the last. So yeah, you get to at least pick 2 in a row right away.
That's good.
Yeah, have your
that
list.
That was the plan originally. Yes.
It was. That's why you picked that D20 for sure.
Freaking out.
I'm also going to be real. I want to own up in case anyone hears something on the mic and wants to call me out on it. My die did shift as I was lifting it up to show the webcam, but I don't know what it was before. So as I was revealing, I didn't know if it was helping or hurting me, but mine wobbled over while I was lifting it up.
And that's how Mama got in the middle.
Yeah. I don't know what it was because beside the 15, I'm pretty sure there's 1 number that's bigger and 2 that are smaller, and I genuinely don't know if I helped or hurt.
You're sticking out for the little people.
I'm gonna do a called shot. I'm going into my first draft, and I'm going to say, fucking everything out on the table. I think this is the perfect Dungeon Master choice. And I spent so long debating between 3 characters for who I thought was the best Dungeon Master. And I am picking Dungeon Master first, and it's Jaguar D. Sol.
Okay. Yeah. That's a really good pick. Yeah.
I'll get into it later.
And you're putting it right out there who your Dungeon Master is right away.
I'll later talk about why. But we got Jaguar D. Sol as our first pick. Mama, do you want to give your first pick now?
I am not going to tell you if they're my Dungeon Master.
Okay.
Cause I'm not like you. I'm hardcore. I'm picking Usopp. If I'm going to be in the middle, I'm going to pick a dude I really know that will help me out.
I did a D&D video once about the Strahds playing D&D, and I was like, oh, Usopp with Robin would be the best DMs at this. Yeah.
I have genuinely felt going in, my strategy approaching this was going, who is the most obvious Dungeon Master? Who would be amazing, and it was Usopp, and I need to find a character who I think would be better than Usopp to warrant picking them, and it took me literal days of thinking about that to think of someone.
You want to put out there that Usopp is not my Dungeon Master.
I think that's fair. Tekking, who are your first 2 picks? And you don't have to say who they're going to be?
No, I'm picking the DM immediately. It's Lilith.
No.
I burned up Lilith on
so many good things in there.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Tekking doesn't have to use our restricted list. We're allowing guests the option of using restriction list, and if they do, they add to it. I burned Lilith on our first episode, and I was thinking when we were prepping for this, man, she'd be pretty good.
We really would have loved a Lilith.
All right.
Second pick?
We have to pick from the breaks.
Queen. He's gonna be a bard.
No.
Queen playing a bard. Oh man,
Zuma. Yep.
Oh, that's so good.
This is the best of characters that Drawk has ruined for us.
Oh,
I have a theme. If you can guess it, you win a cookie.
Oh. I mean, so far it's evil scientists.
I'll be guessing your theme.
What now?
Is it my turn now?
Yep.
I'm going to pick the other obvious person, and this is just because I am at a disadvantage. It's Nico Robin.
Nico Robin.
That's what you need. I mean, you need Robin there to balance that out.
I think
Usopp and Robin together are, yeah.
They are one of the most
dream team.
They're one of the most underrated pairs of Straw Hats, in my opinion.
Oh, I love them together. I love Nico, Robin, and Usopp together.
I'm thinking about the way this is developed. I'm thinking about how we're going, and I immediately want to pick a pair that, in my opinion, have a chemistry that I find incredibly fun. So I am going to pick Gerd and Road.
Oh, I was gonna say going with the Elbath picks. Yeah,
that's nice.
Not exclusively, but early on, it's looking that way.
I thought about Road because Road would be he would be the nerdy gaming D&D. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like these two have such the way they bounce off each other has immediately been so appealing in Elbath.
It is pretty funny.
How much their relationship in 3 chapters has been so fucking endearing and funny. And then on top of that, both of them are little nerds who are making outfits for the people that are going to be their figures. They are both making all the little outfits.
Already like action figures. They already like D&D.
And Road as a collection of humans who we're not going to consider the ethics, but who are going to be our figures. And they're going to both be making cute outfits for them. And that's amazing.
Yep.
You're going to have to play in a big place, dude.
I'm going to have to play in a big place for sure. In fact, I'm going to, fuck it, immediately, I'm doing the Owl Library as a place. Why? Otherwise, how is Jaguar D-Sol going to get D&D books big enough that he can read them?
That's actually fair. You need Biblo for that. Yeah.
Or not, because I ain't taking it from you. Okay, my third pick, and I'm going to put this right out there, my DM, is Mont Blanc Cricket.
Oh, that's so good. Yes.
Oh,
dude.
I didn't
That's really good.
He meets all the criteria I set for a perfect DM, though, even though I didn't have him on my list. That's really good. All right, Tekking. It's back to you with 2 picks. All right.
Next up, I'm going to go with Eneru. He's going to be a cleric of himself.
I'm guessing that's Storm Domain?
Yes. Oh, well, no. Yeah. No, it's Lightning Domain, and he worships himself.
That's so fucking funny. I feel like I don't know if you haven't said who your DM is, right?
No, it's Lilith. Lilith is the DM.
I feel like he had to argue for a while with Lilith about whether or not he counts as a deity for D&D. You don't. Oh, I love that so much.
Perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
We can go for movie characters, but I've burned Uta off my list, so she's an option for Tekking, but not me.
You've burned so many people. You guys can't imagine what we're
characters. That might change some stuff. I don't know. I'd have to think about. Actually, it kind of does. Anyway, yeah. Does it go back to me?
Yeah, Snake Draft.
Yeah. Eustace Kid. He's going to be a barbarian.
Oh, you bastard.
So here's something interesting. I pointed out in our last party, I was like, I don't know when Eustace Kid is going to be usable because he's so unfun. We saw him and Law be miserable at the biggest party in the series. And I think you actually found the party what he would enjoy and take seriously. I think he would actually fucking love to play D&D.
That's just good.
Oh
yeah, as just a murder hobo barbarian hit things with big giant axe or something. He would love that. Yeah,
I feel like he'd also be the murder hobo who for the first few sessions isn't invested, but then finds an NPC he likes and gets dragged into caring.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Mom, it's back to you. What are we going
for? Well, folks. It looks like I'm going to pick Kamakuri.
Am I the only... You're the encyclopedia, Tekking. Who's Kamakuri?
Not Katakuri, correct?
Who? Kamakiri.
What?
Kamakiri. I feel like that's a member of the Shandorians, right?
He's a Shandorian.
Yeah, yes, he's a Shandorian. Yeah,
which
yeah,
one
he's
is
the
he?
dude with the spear that Eneru electrocutes.
Yes.
I need an explanation for this. I don't care if it's now, but I'm gonna need an explanation for this.
He's the guy with the cool explanation.
My first explanation for this is we don't have a shit ton of people.
Uh-huh.
And let me tell you, the second explanation is you'll find the hell out soon, won't you, boy?
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Tekking has been, so I'm gonna have to start. I want to start going into some of what people are playing. I'll go back to Gerd and Road a bit later because I think they're a bit interesting. I want Shirahoshi.
Okay.
And Shirahoshi to me is playing a wizard, and she is so excited about this because she wants nothing more than to adventure, but is also a little scaredy baby cat who isn't really ready for that and is going to be so goddamn invested in this. And then I'm going to add another character who I want to, I'm adding York. Why York?
Okay.
Because all of the most fun D&D tables I've been at have had someone who's obsessed with treasure and loot and getting everything they can to drive us forwards and make sure that we actually get to things. And that's York, who is playing an artificer. And York is a 100% a power gamer. Shirahoshi read all the fucking books in the lead up because she was so excited she couldn't sleep and was reading books day in, day out. She knows all her spells. She bought little spell cards so that she can flip through them. York is a power gamer and has been looking up optimal strats and doing like damage per round calculations to build the perfect artificer. I think she's also got Blade Dancer as a multi-class.
As someone that's on part of a our DM table is like 8 people now, and there's like 3 power gamers in it. So yeah, yeah, it's fun to DM when it's like, yeah, I roll for stealth 47. Oh,
okay,
shit. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way around that. Yeah, you're invisible.
Cool. You disappear from the timeline. The tapestry of fate leaves you out for a week.
You get ripped out of reality for a round. But yeah, Shirahoshi would be like, oh my God, I want to play a wizard so bad. I'm going to sit there and read in my little tower, you know, and then, yeah.
Okay, Mama, it's back to you. I think I spelled Kamakuri wrong, but frankly.
No, I think you got it, actually.
Okay.
Maybe no, it might be Kami-Kiri. I don't know. I have to look it up.
Oh, that would make sense because of,
yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I'll look it up.
Okay, what's next?
Okay. No, that's right. You got it right. The next one is...
You got it right, yeah.
My treasure goblin. Amazon.
Oh, Amazon, the lady from the White Sea?
Yes. The tollkeeper.
Yes.
The tollkeeper's your treasure goblin? I mean, I said we need a treasure goblin.
She's just a lady with a camera. That's it.
She is a treasure goblin.
I can't, but it feels right, but that's insane. I'm so... What is happening?
You know, sometimes you do the thing. Sometimes the thing does you.
What does that mean? Tekking, what's next?
Caesar Clown. He's going to be a warlock.
That's great.
Dude, I hate that fucker so much.
Yep. Okay. You're not wrong, and that's so good.
You got another pick?
Oh, that's right. Well, we're gonna. Okay, so how many do we have left? So we have the DM. We have 4 players. We need 2 more.
Yep.
Okay. This you could probably sense the vibe I'm going with. Judge. He's gonna be a rogue.
You only have 2 people. You only have 1 non-scientist, huh?
Hold on, we're not done yet. We have 1 more person after this, but I have to go back around. At the moment,
there is a singular non-scientist.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, my next pick is going to be really predictable. As all my other picks are.
Yep.
And that is Shouju.
Okay. I know the guy for Shouju and Mashura. Yeah.
Mont Blanc Cricket's ally.
Yes, the Stariyama Alliance. Yeah.
Yes.
Cricket, Tekking, I'm so glad you're here to be someone who knows more of the obscure One Piece characters than me, so that there's someone who can say who these people are.
No worries. I got you on this one, Drawk. Don't worry about it.
You got me for sure. Okay.
A good team.
Okay. I am picking my final 2 now. So I got to be careful. I'm looking over my list. I'm looking over my prepped list.
Yeah.
Who do I think balances out who I have the most right now? So far we have only giant characters. You may have noticed that that is a theme that's going to end regardless of who I take now. Currently, I feel as though I don't have someone who's like our upfront, in the face, plays a martial character, gets things done, takes charge. So I am going to be bringing in Okiku.
Yes.
Oh.
Okiku is going to be playing, let me check my notes so I can remember for sure. Yep. Okiku's playing a paladin. Okiku is playing a paladin of devotion and is so obscenely into roleplay. Like, gets so obscenely into character that will not respond to Kiku during the game.
She just out of, isn't she like 8, 9, 10 feet tall?
Oh yeah, we
Not
actually had to
giant,
calculate this for something. No, she's not. She is like 8 or 9 feet tall.
Yeah, not a giant
think,
though.
but...
She's definitely short by our party standard, by our table standards.
You really seem to have a slant you move towards.
Well, and there is a reason for that, which is it's going to feel really awkward for anyone human size once I picked Jaguar D. Sol as our DM to be interacting with all of the like human size figures. If you're not giant, moving your character around is going to be a real problem.
Not a lie.
Yeah.
I haven't told you any, did you pick your second?
I haven't, and I'm picking my final character. I'm just going over my list to make sure that because this is a big deal. This is the final one.
Kiku is 9'5", by the way.
Holy shit. Yeah, no, that's pretty good height.
Yeah. I am going to be picking Charlotte Katakuri.
All right, there it is.
Okay, there you go.
He is going to be playing a Circle of the Moon Druid because he wants to do everything everyone else can.
That's fair.
My people, except for my Amazon, is my treasure troll.
You
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this my last pick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My last pick is going to be a cleric, and that's Asia.
That's who?
Asia. A-I-S-A. Asia.
Okay.
A little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Isa.
Isa.
I was gonna say, when you said Asia, I'm thinking of like the red stone from JoJo's, and I'm like, I don't. Yeah.
I get in trouble for saying her name every time, but it's Asa.
You get corrected about her
I say Isa.
a lot.
Isa is the way I've always pronounced
Isa?
it. Yeah. I always say Isa, and I think that's the way they pronounce it in the English dub, but like, yeah.
I think Isa, but so you have a very Skypiea focused crew over here.
I'm noticing.
Skypiea. It's got a little this, got a little of that. It's got a little Skypiea, got a little Shandian, got a little Jaya.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this. Okay. Tekking, you get to finish us off with the final member of your party. Did my internet freeze? My internet froze, didn't it? Whoop! Hopefully I'm back eventually.
I have a pretty evil group of people here, and that's the theme. But we're going to be ending this out with Kuma.
Oh my
so Kuma
God.
is either, he is the one person, he's going to be a paladin. I feel like he's the one person that could fix this party and actually get them to be on track during the adventures. If there's anybody that could do it, it would be him.
I love this.
That's wild.
I love this.
Wild.
Can I just say immediately before we get started, I immediately do love everyone's group. Mama, so I really do like that you've leaned into flavor. Tekking, this is such a party dynamic. This is such a table feel. Like, you can read this list and immediately get like a tactile feel for the energy in the room. Okay, we get now 3 minutes each. If I go over, if anyone goes over, Lav is going to cut us off. Lav is also going to give us a 30-second warning. We did not have enough time or foresight to set up little sound effects, which the future will have. Tekking and our special guest Mama get to be here in this very early draft of Party Piece where there are not proper little sound cues.
How dare you? I can make sound cues.
You can make sound cues? Oh, great. We have sound cues. Yeah, give us the Buddha Boo is the 30-second line. And then here's what I want you to do, Lav. If we go over 3 minutes, just go boop, boop every second for the first 10 seconds, and then actually cut our mic.
Excellent.
Oh, we're
Except
also
for
being
Dr.
counted
Jack's
into a
counting
plug,
Tekking
which
in.
we're going to have to do. Yeah, Tekking, you're being counted in for a plug right now.
Oh, okay.
Don't do it though until Dr. Jack gets to 1, because that is the
Right,
rule.
what am I doing? What am I saying?
Oh, you know,
you just unhinge.
Just, you know, as we've been told by Lav to do as simple a plug as you possibly can, actually. Don't be unhinged. Lav has specifically said they want to edit less.
Subscribe to stuff. I don't know what that was.
Tekking, that is the best plug that you've ever done in the history of our channel.
Subscribe to everything. I don't know.
You did it. No, you did it. That was
That's
it.
literally the greatest plug I've ever heard in any show at any time in history.
Aren't we great hosts that we make you the co-host and also force you to do a plug? We're so kind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to do my 3 minutes pitch for my game. I'm going to talk about...
Wait. I have one question, and we've never done this before.
Yes.
This is a new thing. I have one question. Could I change a person?
What?
Gasp.
It's a gasp moment. I don't know. Could I change a person? I just realized somebody was available and I didn't take them. And they haven't been taken.
I think throw in chat a 1 for yes and a 2 for no.
Okay, everybody. 1 for... I also, while they're deciding, Tekking, I want to run something by you. I don't know if it actually comes up for this, because if you add more people to a D&D party, it can get more clustered. I don't know if you want to use this.
I'm aware.
But there's a secret rule. Yeah, you have an 8-person game. There's a secret rule that I forgot to mention because I'm clumsy, which is +1s. If anyone hasn't taken a character who's an obvious +1 for one of your characters, like Killer would be for you, I
was going to say Killer was the other one that was going to be picked. Yeah, he would be a fighter.
You are allowed to bring them in now as someone's +1.
Okay. Yeah, that would probably be my +1, would probably be Killer. I don't think anybody else on this list would have that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is cheating and not cheating. Everyone says yeah, as long as everyone gets to have one mulligan per person.
I'm not doing a change. I'm good with my crew.
I'm just changing Kamakuri for Wiper.
That is just a better pick, yeah.
Yeah, Wiper's just better than Kamakuri. Sorry, Kamakuri.
Yeah. That's just better.
I mean, I'm sorry, Kamakuri, but I was looking through my list and somehow I thought Wiper was gone, and then I looked back and I was like, no, dude's still here. I could have picked Wiper.
I was wondering.
Dude, I don't know the timing for it, but I want to make a Wiper video. It's just that it's been one of those things that's like 5 years now. Like, when am I going to get around to that Wiper video?
One of our mods,
he's so good.
One of our mods is obsessed with Wiper. Like, it's actually Wiper and Calgara are his favorite characters, and would be probably incredibly stoked to see you do a Wiper video.
Yeah, I'll get around to him at some point, but I've been saying that since like 2020, so we'll find out.
So any day.
Any day now. Yeah.
Any day. All right, guys, I'm going to do my 3-minute pitch. I'm going to start us off. Ready? Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold up.
Okay.
Hold on. You can't. Are you kidding me? You gotta give me more wording than that. I mean, I'm on the ball, but God.
Timer first.
Hey, I want to know, Tekking, do you want to have stubble or no stubble for your drawing?
Yeah, you know, I am growing a beard because Elbaf. So yeah, draw that in. I've never grown a beard before. This is the most facial hair I've ever had in my life. Yeah.
What's fun for you is that you can. My mom gave me the gift of being just part Cree enough that I can't grow good facial hair. I get like a thin mustache, a tiny bit of chin beard, and like a patch on each cheek.
I'm gonna start in 2 seconds. If you don't, if I start the timer, then starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
What makes a great dungeon master? I am here to say that it is a task of many skills, that one must have the ability to improvise, one must have the ability to understand story, character, sound effects. You must have a vast collection of skills that I dare say we cannot know any One Piece character possesses. We can assume each of our characters has these abilities to the extent that would function well, but there is one thing that you cannot learn, one thing that is not a skill, but rather a personality trait. Because a good tabletop game comes down to a singular thing, that the people playing it feel like the heroes, that it is a story for them. And I posit that the best possible dungeon master is the one whom most roots for their players, the one for whom you have seen the most ability to revel in the success, the struggles, and the triumphs of those who are playing under them. And I think there is no character in One Piece, after my long searching, who is better at rooting for others than Jaguar D. Saul. What party are we running? What game are we running? There is a campaign that put the company Paizo on the map called Kingmaker. It is about the quest to raise a kingdom. Now, I don't want to do exactly Kingmaker, but I think it is so in line with the themes of Dungeons & Dragons and One Piece both to run a Kingmaker-style campaign, that it is about becoming the king, about claiming land, about rising through the ranks. Katakuri struggles not to see himself as the main character of this, but the actual one who has been chosen to become the king by the party is going to be Gerd, who is playing the party face. Gerd, let me grab the exact class, is playing a bard because she's so into the backstories of her characters, and because of that, has become the party's main character. Gerd wanted to tell the stories of heroes, and those heroes in turn have raised her to be their king. Road fucking hates this. Road is playing an edgelord warlock hexblade who just wants to be the big hero. Katakuri wanted to be the big guy, but now wants to be the perfect knight for Gerd.
Beep. You have 3 seconds.
This is a campaign about accomplishment, about chasing your dreams. It has the fun party dynamics of Shirahoshi wanting adventure, Road wanting attention, Katakuri hating every role he fails, Okiku being the perfect guard, York questing and lusting for treasure, and more than anything, it is a story about building each other up and finding joy in the success of your friends. I rest my case.
That's good. That's good.
Well done.
Excellent.
You've done a great job.
Thank you. What's it called? Like the College of Glibness Bard? What's the one that's really good at...
Yeah, glib. You're being very glib.
Yeah, I think it's College of Glibness. I could be misremembering. Okay. Those were great sound effects, by the way. Those were really, really helpful.
Thank you so much. I was so worried that I was going to get distracted, just as a person who gets distracted really easily. And it was like the most stressful 3 minutes of my life. Okay, let's go again. My heart can take
it. Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so mine is a little different. What I thought about is, what is it like to have your ancestor proved not to be a liar and to have gone on a journey with people but had to have been on the ground the whole time? So at the end of Skypiea, everything falls out. We know that all of this time, everything was good and great for our good old Mont Blanc cricket. But then he says to himself, I want to know the history of this. I want to know why it was moved up. So they decide that he's going to run a campaign, and in this D&D campaign with his friends, he's going to look at the case of how Partijaya ended up in Skypiea and what happened in it. And the entire D&D campaign is going to be an actual living out of the events where they all use different clues and techniques to slowly unravel as they go through the story of Skypiea and the movement. We've got the Whispering Jungle, the Skies of Discord, the Bells Toll again. And they go through 3 acts together where he's trying to find out what is the true history of the people and what actually happened. So because of that, we have some of the best people there. And Mont Blanc is going to deliver some half-truths, forcing players to think super critically. And then we have Usopp, who of course is the king of half-truths and lies. And he's going to use he's going to be a artificer, battlesmith, engineering skills shining, running around, entertaining, creating a jungle awesomeness in the right places. Then Nico Robin is going to come in with her wizard school divination, using her flower fruit, and her phantom hands to create amazing, amazing background sage techniques. And then we've got a Shandorian with our Wiper, and Wiper, being the cool dude he is going to end up being a paladin. And have lots of combat drama. And then we've got our Skypian representative, and she will be a cleric, an arcane domain. She will be the person who is tied to divine magic. And then our Jaya representative, who's going to be there trying to lead the path because he has so much love for Mont Blanc Clipper. And then Amazon, who is a representative for Skypea as well, and is a troll goblin. All of them have already got the love of working together and are super excited to pull this off. They already feel like they've been part of something big together, and this is going to finish it off in a beautiful way. And the name of it is The Liars Club, Righting Wrongs with a W.
That's with a W, yes.
Oh,
beep, 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 unless you finish.
I'm finished. Woo! Yay!
That was good.
That's
that was good.
That's good. You brought some weird shit together. I'm glad you remembered you could pick Wiper though, because I was not going to be able to pretend I care about Kamakuri.
Problem, I was like, we've already used him. He's so good. And then I was like, oh my shit, we have not used him. I need to flip.
Okay.
Well, you had him in. You had Wiper in. That's all that matters.
Thank you, chat, for allowing that.
Wiper has arrived.
Thank you, Tater.
Drawk, you have to add a Bellamy.
I have to add a
Bellamy.
Yeah,
he'll just go on
It's not a party without a Bellamy.
So Bellamy, not the One Piece character. Sorry, we have redeemable points to add things to the drawing. And my dog's name is Bellamy, so
oh, that's adorable.
He's being added to your DM screen.
Okay. Let's add that Bellamy.
He's in.
I love dogs.
Well, it's good.
He's normally the mascot, but this day I wanted to do extra prep and practice time, so my wife is taking him to the park right now. Okay. Tekking, how ready are you feeling? What is up with my internet today? It froze again. Good lord. We'll be back. We'll be back. Hi, everybody. You can maybe hear me? I don't know how out my internet is. Is there a storm? What is up? Be back. Yeah? No, you guys can hear me. I can't hear that. So it's just Discord? That sucks. Well, they'll be back soon. No, guys. Wait, you can hear... Yeah. I can't hear anybody. Discord is broken for me. This hasn't happened before. That's a funny glitch.
Okay.
Can't hear me either.
I'm back. Yeah, no, my Discord today has been breaking in ways I've never seen before. That is the second time I briefly disconnected. I'm so sorry, Tekking. You have summoned my tech issue powers.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I could not hear you.
Good. There we go. I was gonna say. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. No, it's all right, man. I understand. I've had a slew of technical problems before as well. I get it.
Okay, they hear us all. We can go.
All right.
Everybody audible.
Perfect.
Powerful.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, this is going to be an evil campaign. We got Lilith, the greatest DM ever. She's going to be like Matt Mercer times 10. She has access to punk records, literally every single rule at her fingertips. She's not going to forget anything. Then we have this group gathering together at the Germa Double Sixes, like big throne room with the giant evil table and everything like that, right? So evil campaigns, they're just all going to go murder hobo anyway. So this is how this is going to go. Cyberpunk Shadowrun would probably work better for this, but if we're going 5e, let's go like a little bit of an advanced, kind of like Victorian steampunkish kind of a vibe with this. We'll call it the City of Steam, just for flavor. So as all of this party enters the City of Steam, a powerful force, like the government in this place, just robs them, just takes every single thing from them, and they're out for blood. And they just want to kill everybody in this city and just take the whole place over. This party of characters, it's just a determining of like how they're going to do that, right? We got Queen, who's the bard, who's kind of like evil, but with like a fun element to it. Eneru, who worships himself, the epitome of narcissism, and he just wants to just become the god of the city, and people like raising him as a god emperor. We have Kid, who just wants to be the best and just smash everything with like a giant axe. He would be the guy that would just like, let's storm the castle and just kill everybody instantly. Killer, is a fighter. He's going to be the voice of reason. He's going to be like, hey, let's calm down here, kid. Let's not do that. Caesar is a warlock that wants to kill his own patrons so that he can be his own patron, and developing all this poisons and stuff to try to take out the city that way. And then Judge is just a rogue who's going to infiltrate via stealth. Then we have Kuma, who is going to be the saving grace of this entire campaign. At first, they're going to shit on him for being the, it's like, oh, you're just, worshiping, an actual god over there. You're trying to be nice, goody two shoes or anything like that. But no, Kuma is going to slowly but surely direct them in the right direction. So while the government is corrupted here, they are going to succeed. But I think Kuma is going to put them on the right path for redemption and allow them to rule the city better than the government did beforehand. That's going to be the general vibe. Or that all goes south and Kuma ends up dead again. But either way, it'll be an extraordinarily entertaining campaign.
It all goes and Kuma ends up dead again. Well done.
Can I just say, someone in chat pointed out something that makes your campaign way better.
What?
The fact that the government is definitely trying to spy on this because a bunch of evil scientists are hanging out in a clubhouse every week.
Yeah.
How long do you think it takes them to find out that this is just a game that they're playing?
Oh, did you say where yours is taking place?
Oh, they're going to be playing at the Germa 66's big, giant, opulent throne room with the huge eagles and the banners, and that table is going to be epic to play a D&D game at. Yeah.
In a cheat not cheat, for mine, it's taking place. It starts in Jaya and it works its way into Skypiea and obviously into the Vars.
The Vars.
You are so now we're allowed to get a little bit into attacks. I want to start off with something.
Okay.
Yes. The first small attack I have is Mama, your party seems to be more live action roleplay than D&D. Do you have a response to this?
Okay, well, thank you for asking about that. Actually, my campaign just embodies everything about One Piece. It's adventure, hard.
Did it break again? The Discord, guys, what is happening to Discord today? What is up? Tekking, I'm guessing you also can't hear me. Well, Craigbot, you can hear me. Probably? Well, hi everybody. One day my Discord might work. Let's see. Let's think about this. What do I do? Maybe if I disconnect and I reconnect, it'll work.
Back!
He's back!
Yeah.
Hi, Drawk!
Here's my hope. My hope is this is broken so much that what I actually have needed to do the entire time is just disconnect and reconnect, and now it'll work.
Are we here, guys? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you again. I manually disconnected and reconnected.
I'm not really worried about you so much as the squishies.
Oh, the squishies? They don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, because they said they couldn't hear Tekking and I.
No,
and Tekking and I are the most cutest, so we're not.
True. That is true about you guys. Can I?
Okay.
Yeah, we're not live actioning up in my house. What we're doing is just doing a location for ambiance. And if you're lucky enough to be in a triangle of ambiance, then use your triangle of ambiance, I always say. I mean, I was thinking we might even take the knock-up stream to go in the up and have a little look around. But honestly, Amazon knows how to get us up there, so I'm not all that worried about it, and she's going to make it easy sailing for us.
Does she know how to? Oh yeah, I guess getting up into the upper part of with the giant lobster thing.
That's
she could go there.
In case anyone tried to poke a hole in me moving us.
I did wonder if Amazon was maybe here because you ran out after burning through Pagaya and Conus last time.
No, she's the one who's going to make sure that we can move our ass up and not have to worry about a knock-up stream tipping our ship backwards.
All right, I want to talk. How do you guys see social dynamics going in your parties real quick? Because Tekking, I feel... Now, there are very few people, I think Kuma's one of them, who can handle the stress of how he is likely to be treated by everyone else.
Absolutely. There's nobody better than him. He would be able to be okay with this group of people.
But they're gonna be awful to him, right? For at least a long time.
They are going to be awful to him. He is going to be the one, but he's not going to quit. He's not going to like any other player would probably be like, I don't want to be part of this game. This is not working for me. I'm leaving. Kuma's going to come back every week for this game because he's going to be like, I know that we could do this. I know we could put them on the right path. And he's going to be
the
lawful good paladin. He could do this.
He's going to be, wait, he's going to be lawful good with these guys.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I love that. I love that you chose the
man.
meanest, dirtiest team and then put Kuma on as lawful good.
Something very funny about
that's the idea, yeah. Because that's the idea. He didn't get the memo, maybe. Now, he ended up in this situation by accident. He didn't plan this, but it's like, all right, well, here we are. Also, Kuma, I feel, has the most patience because he's literally like half robot. So, like, he'll be okay with that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I would agree.
I agree with that. Kuma was such a curveball to add in at the end, and I do genuinely love that addition.
There needs to be a moral compass.
How are we dealing with Queen, Caesar, and Judge? How is this going on, do you figure? Like,
they've worked together before, so there will be some bickering. But remember, the idea is like they were working together. Like Neomads is a thing right now. So they are able to work together very efficiently when they have to. The beginning of this is they're going to get robbed, and then they're going to be like at each other's throat. Like, it was your fault, whatever. But there's going to be a common evil, a greater evil than them. And like, oh no, they're not the greater evil. We're the greater evil. And that's going to kind of, that's going to direct their anger at this one group, and they're going to go after them.
Wait.
All right.
So the greater evil isn't, oh, there's such bad guys that we need to stop what they're doing because they even go outside our moral compass.
No, it's they stole from us and they control the city. We want to control the city, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah.
We can't let someone else be the villains.
Yes, that's the idea for this evil campaign. So much blood will be spelt here.
Oh, absolutely. That is very, very genuinely funny.
Question, did you make Tekking reading a book to a bad guy?
No. It's a DM screen. You just you're not in the loop enough, so you don't
DM screen.
There it is.
Yeah. It's a DM screen. It's got a panda.
At first, I thought he was giving lullabies.
Exactly, right there in the chat. Lesser of two evils. Nobody calls me lesser. Like that's the overall tagline.
Such
that's
a
the
vibe,
tagline.
though.
Yeah.
I think I need to be straight up. I don't think being on the offensive has any merit in this debate because both your ideas are incredible. I think I've got to go straight to why mine is exceptionally special because, frankly, hats off to both of you. These are great. Like, straight up.
Thank you.
Obviously, all three
Yours
of these
is
would be a blast to sit on. Like, what I feel as though the special element offered by this is the actors. We have so many figures of so many different things, and anything can be made at a smaller scale and dragged in and grown up by Biblo, who's my +1. He's an assistant DM who just finds books and grows everything. More like a facilitator than assistant DM, but like, you know, what are you gonna do? Biblo's my +1. And we have access to so many beautiful, fun props, so many cool, like, costumes made by Gerd and Road on all of our living live-action figures who get to act out all of the scenes for what everyone's doing. And I cannot imagine any character having more, like, both love for his party, but like there's a lot of people who I think take love for their party as a DM to the wrong extent where they're like, oh yeah, they're the heroes, I want them to succeed, so they make everything easy. But I think Saul has such a good mentality about like life is about struggle and hardship and overcoming it, that he's not pulling punches, he's not going easy on them. They're going to struggle and suffer, but he's gonna make a story that's about them winning, that's about them like learning to be heroes.
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal. I think, like, you know, just the idea that you have Jaguar D. Saul being the DM, so he's like a more historical context of like a lot of this. The world building is going to be very immense here for this epic. Like what did you say exactly? Like, is it going to be like fantasy themed kind of adventure they're going on?
We're going straight up fantasy, and it's
we're going 5e Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
Oh, Kingmaker. That's what you said. Yes.
Founding a kingdom, building up your legacy and your legend, becoming the start of something great.
Absolutely.
And I just love thinking about the table dynamic of like starting off with characters like both Katakuri and Road being like, we should be the big hero. But over time, when it comes time to actually pick someone to be like who they want in charge. It's Gerd, who's been there for them the whole time, basically worshiping everybody else's heroics and talking them up, that they're like, no, this is the person who should be in charge. And Katakuri folding in line with that and being like, then I'll be the perfect protector, and Road still fucking hating it and like struggling not to sabotage her at every turn.
Yeah. Which two characters players do you think would get along best at the table? I think Shirahoshi and Okiku would be like best friends at the table.
I think they would love each other so much.
Yeah.
Especially because I think I think the only part Shirahoshi would struggle with his roleplay, which Okiku gets so fucking into, that she would drag Shirahoshi in. For your for your guys' tables, that's a really good question. Who do you see as like the most interesting pair? Who's the best pair?
Well, I mean, there's some obvious ones with me. Usopp and Robin, anytime you get them together, it's a glorious day. But I would say a cool one that I would like to see, that I would actually like to see in One Piece, and I think it will be a surprising get along, would be Wiper and Mont Blanc.
Oh yeah, that would be. That's so. I kind of wish those two meet at some point in the story. That would be great.
Genuinely, it's part of. Hey, to get into One Piece theorizing, that is part of why I unironically do believe it. We've been talking about this bit by bit. How like Mama believes in something called dimension, that she called dimension piece, which is that other dimensions and the fruits that create them are going to be relevant to the story. We can get into that another time.
Ooh.
But part of why I believe that is going to lead to like a fairy tale style halftime skip, because I don't think we're going to get one for the Straw Hats again, but there's so many things in the world that it feels like we need to see develop. And one of them is genuinely, it feels like Wiper and Cricket need to meet.
They need to meet.
Yeah, they have to meet at some point. I think it will happen. Yeah, more of like an epilogue thing.
When I thought Wiper was gone, because a Wiper Mont Blanc meetup is genuinely the story.
He's at an amusement park right now.
I genuinely think the two of them being in this game together is one of the biggest draws that you have, is that they get to hang out.
Absolutely.
Well, if I was going to talk about one of my draws, the thing that I loved best about mine is that I was thinking about what is a thing that could happen in the One Piece world as a D&D game, and yet it could also actually be put in by Oda. Like if Cricket got in there and he made this kind of game, and they got clues and they were actually able to figure some stuff out and see like maybe government mishandlings, or they came up with ideas and it helped to elucidate some truths, that could actually come into the story later on, where they say to Luffy, like, here are some things that we came up with and now we understand this and this. And I was like, that'd be fun. But on top of it, I kind of saw it as like, you start off in Mont Blanc's ruins, solving puzzle, getting to see Robin using her intellect, and like getting to actually watch Robin puzzle things out again, like we kind of got to see in the beginning, and we haven't got to see it as much in a while, and I miss those Robin days.
Those were fun.
Oh, I love those moments when we got to see how smart she was.
I feel like we're going to see a lot more of that towards the very end of the series, but I do like that you're kind of bringing that in. I debated heavily if I was going to go the Straw Hat route and which ones I was going to include. And for me, the three Straw Hats I was debating were Robin, Nami, and Usopp as part of a D&D game.
All of those ones are great. I like that we go into Skypiea after, and I like the idea of... Okay, how did you say it? God damn, why can't I do her name? Isaac.
You're fine. It's just pronunciation. You're good.
You can mispronounce whatever you want.
No, it's this name, and there's one other name I got wrong for. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, just the one other name.
Yeah, just the one other name.
Was it Zoro? When in the beginning, that I would say Zoro's name wrong every time because I was reading
the Viz translation.
That as well. Yeah.
But getting to see her back in the game and getting to see some of the development of her abilities would be amazing to me. Like, I feel like the characters in the Skypiea and Jaya arc, we got told just enough that now I'm like, let's see it again, baby. So that was one of the reasons I thought this would be such an awesome battle and such a fun time with them. And then at the very end of mine, the final battle will be against a Celestial Guardian to test the result.
There you go.
I want to hear Tekking talk about his favorite pair, like what duo he thinks is the best. And then I have another thing I want to pursue talking about.
Okay. I'm going to say Caesar and Eneru, actually, because Eneru is this huge, like, he has a god complex. He thinks he's God. Caesar is a warlock with the idea of like, I'm going to kill my own patron and be the next warlock god. So they'd be constantly arguing about that kind of stuff, like God versus science, theology, atheism, that kind of stuff. Because, you know, Caesar doesn't believe in any of that stuff really. So it's like, that would be interesting to have them interact there.
That's an awesome interaction.
Killer and Kid are already like friends.
Yeah.
So the idea there is like Kid just wants to like Leroy Jenkins and just run into the battle with a giant axe and just start swinging, and Killer has to be the one. Like the guy named Killer is oddly enough the voice of reason here of like, hey buddy, chill out. You know,
someone pointed out this in chat, and I fully agree that Killer and Kuma would be a weirdly fun pair.
Yeah, they would actually be the most rational people in this entire party, bar none. Yeah.
Just like I was thinking, Shirahoshi and Road for me would be a pair I would like to see.
Oh my god, I didn't think about the fact that like Road is a supremacist. He's a racist. We can talk about that. Yeah. And how funny it would be for him to be like, yeah, giants are the best, giants are the best, and then meet a mermaid the size of a giant and be like, well, what do I think about this? What's
exactly?
How does
I think that would be really meeting.
Just breaks my perception
and try not to think she's the greatest thing ever. She's so adorable.
Oh my god, he'd have such a crush on her. No, she's 16. Road, no.
Yeah, no.
You're as gross as someone else whose name is over there on Tekking's list.
I'll be partially real. A lot of why I include Road is whenever we do parties, I like to have someone who's kind of the shit, like the little shit, because I find every group dynamic works better if there's one person we all kind of tolerate who everyone just knows is like less liked than everyone else. And I think this is a real human psychological phenomenon. And I think the reason we always do it is because we don't want to be that person. And if we all know who that person is, we're all a little bit more confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I
want to see on Tekking's list, I want to see Enru and Judge.
That feels like such a weird mix.
That's who I want to see interact.
I want to see, I don't know. It's interesting if we're going from like the ones that are the most evil to the least evil. I think, the most evil out of this whole thing would be Caesar Clown.
Yeah.
And then like Enru would probably be there. It's interesting that Judge might be 4 or 5, which is crazy.
Judge is
wild. But I think Caesar, I think Judge would really enjoy Enru's energy. No pun intended, but every pun intended.
Every pun intended.
And I think both of them would really appreciate each other's power. So I think that would be a very cool pairing.
Absolutely, yeah. There'd be some people on the list that would be like jealous of one another, but there'd also be someone like power respects power kind of thing. Absolutely.
Someone wanted to know if we had early on, if we would talk about our big bad evil guys. And I don't know if you guys have plans for that, because Mama, it sounds like yours would be more or less about finding that out, like through the process. So it wouldn't be going in with a thought. And it probably ends up being the world government because you have your belief that the world government caused the...
Evils, like,
okay.
No, I have big bad evils. I have like a celestial garden in the final act.
Right.
I have an ancient map, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
It feels like Tekking, your party's goal is kind of to become the big bad evil guy.
Yeah. Their idea is, there's already a big bad evil organization. We could say the king is corrupt as hell.
Yeah.
And he's got, like the various leaders of like certain, like the steel magnate in the city is also evil. There's a religion that's also led by the evil version of the Pope or something, and they have to go and like fight against all these different aspects of the city and eventually fight the king and his army, which would either result in them dying or it would result in them being the kings of the city themselves. And even in that case, you could say, do they rule with an iron fist like they're just even worse? Or does Kuma manage to sway them at that point and manage to act? Like, how rewarding would that be at the end of this campaign for Kuma to be like, he actually got through to them?
It is not in my interest of this being a debate show to help you, but I want to help you because I like pitching cool stuff.
Do it.
I think it is so fucking cool to think about like how Kuma could do it would be pointing out things like, hey, there's revolutionary factions that want to take advantage of the fact that we are in a weaker state of leadership than the people we overthrew because we don't have like deep roots in the city. What if you let me enact some of these positive policies to our constituents so that they're more likely to give us these deep roots and they're more likely to weaken the rebel factions? And bit by bit, pragmatically, Kuma's making them good by being like, well, if Sure, the millers are wanting to overthrow us because they're not getting their fair share, but if we give them a subsidy during the low production season, they're going to favor us and stop giving food to the rebel factions.
That's the way it would go. Kuma's, you don't immediately change these, 5-6 people's like morality just like with like, you guys need to be good and worship God. It's like, no, that's not going to work on them. They're just going to rebuff you. So what you got to do is you got to do it piecemeal. You got to figure out some way to be like, hey guys, I mean, like charging in is just going to get us killed. So we have to ally with the local groups and everything like that. How about we organize the gangs a little bit better in the city so then we can attack later? And then it's like, okay, now we're working on this and now we'll reform these gangs because they're not doing stuff correctly, and just that works its way up. And then, yeah, that's how Kuma would have to do it.
Can we talk about how funny it is that Kuma's a paladin of the sun god, obviously, and
yes.
without Eneru knowing it, Kuma's worshiping the guy who kicked his ass.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that's great. That could be a point. I think the most likely person to die in this whole party though is Eneru, because I just don't see him getting past it. I think he might be really hard to like sway, but
do you want to get some problems in here before we move on?
Mm-hmm. Well,
get some problems. I
wanted to talk about my big bad evil guy plans first, and then I wanted to. First I wanted to say one thing about Eneru dying, which I find funny, which is I think he's absolutely the type of player who'd be like, and here's my new character, the same guy with a slightly changed name, who's his brother.
Yes. Yep. That would be his thing. Absolutely.
So my big bad evil guy plans, because I think Saul is the type of player or type of DM to prioritize player agency in all things. So I think there is a standard big bad evil guy, and the story is basically like a king has been like, yeah, you can be made a lesser king if you can defeat this evil lich who is threatening to invade. And if you take his old castle, his ancient kingdom, if you can rebuild it into something sustainable, you get to be a king. And they go through all that. And along the way, they kind of find out the king who has given them the rights to be raised to his equal wants them to be a vassal state and is also fucking pretty bad in a different way, has lots of smaller corruptions, is doing all of these awful things, and leaves it to the players to decide, is the game over when you've achieved your first goal, or are you going to try to overthrow the much stronger kingdom and become king of something bigger by taking on the real bad guy, the person who set you on this quest, and basically sets it up for it to be their choice when the story ends, if it's going to be as simple as beat the lich, be raised to king, or if they're going to not be able to let evil reign and they want to take care of the corrupt monarch that set them down this path.
That's awesome.
That sounds good. That sounds like I like that premise.
It feels right for Saul, because to me Saul is a character who's all about like letting people have agency and pursue the life they want. Do we want to throw in the wrench? Do we want to bring in...
I'm going to do my evil because I didn't do it yet, but I kind of alluded to it. So in the final act, it's called The Bell's Final Toll.
I love it.
It's in the ruins of Shandora. It's the truth of Jaya ascent comes to light. So there's going to be like an ancient pact with celestial beings, and it's going to require the bell's sacrifice and sound, because you know how I feel about how the sound of the bell is going to change some things. So the golden bell has to be restored and stopped from collapsing to be hit. And then Usopp was going to distract with bluffs the entire time, because it's about lying. A lot of the different things are going to be about compelling to tell the best lie. Like, I am the actual ancestor of Nolan the liar, Usopp will say, and by doing this, he will open up a pact. So then their final thing is going to be tested against a celestial guardian. But they're gardening at the time, and they're doing roses, obviously. Yes. And they're going to go into a toe-to-toe, and there's going to be puzzle restoring the bell pieces back together, and Robin's going to have to read ancient texts in order to read out the spell to make the bell work again.
That's beautiful.
I do love that.
The sacrifice of the bell itself is a really good way to implement that.
Yeah. And the bell in the end will no longer be there. It'll have done its final piece.
It did its thing. Its thing.
So then something else will die, and people can feel good because a new thing will have died in One Piece. And then everyone will go, huzzah, there's a death.
Of a bell.
Hey, speaking of death.
Yeah.
That seems like something that could go wrong.
Are we talking player
death or
character
death? I'm trying to segue to what could go wrong. This is a segue.
That's a good segue. You know what I love about that segue is it reminds me of the 2010s when segues were a vehicle.
That is what I was alluding to. You couldn't see it, but I was holding up a segue.
Don't know why.
It's mine.
Read out the segue.
With one arm, you hold up a segue. That is so impressive. Strong. That is cool.
Yeah. I am crazy strong. You have no idea. Okay. So, we have some specific questions pertaining to D&D, and then we also have some general questions for general party things that could go wrong. Awesome. To start it off,
is it just me again? Are you guys here? It's just me again, isn't it? We'll fix it.
Drawk!
Yeah, no, my internet's decided that it hates me today, so...
Great.
Time to fix teching again. We left off at to start it off.
Get me situated here.
You know what's great teching is the tech issues have never been this persistent before. You have a...
Now I'm here, so now they are. No, that makes sense.
You have magic power.
That's my ability.
As your editor, that is 100% a lie.
No. The tech issue of Discord disconnecting, this one has never been this persistent.
Okay, can I ask a question before we go on? Did you say who's the horny one?
Oh,
yes, he did.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. I didn't. I was out of the chat for that one. I would like to straight up immediately say we don't just have a horny one. Let's be clear. York is greed embodied. Every time there's a hot NPC, he tries to hit on them. Road, we've met the man. We know what's up. And this is going to feel like a weird one.
Oh my God. You just pick your horny one.
Because of the devotion to roleplay, I think it's less of a horny one. I think Okiku is actually going to, in character, fall in love.
Yeah. Maybe out of character, too.
Who knows?
Yeah, okay.
That's my answer. Okay. Mama, you were next in the list. Who's the horny one?
Oh, God. Look at my list. I
guess the horny one is Road, but then also York just wants her character to sleep with everybody so that she can feel like she got more things.
That makes sense.
First of all, you got to make Shouju a barbarian, Path of the Berserker.
Okay. Berserker barbarian.
Okay. You know what? I was going to say Wiper, and I'm wrong. If we're in role play, it's Wiper. If we're in real world, it's Mont Blanc 100%. He just seems like the kind of dude who would sidle up beside you in a way that you would be like, no, I'm catching your vibe. And he'd lay his vibe down so smooth and so smiley that everyone would just be like, yeah, there's something about that dude that just makes me comfortable with walking away with him.
I don't like what you've brought up because I've never thought about this, but you're so right that Mont Blanc Cricket strikes me as a guy who sleeps around.
He does it in a way where no one's mad.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like I'm picturing like I'm at a bar, which I'm never usually at, but I'm at a bar and he sits down wearing a finely pressed tailored suit, drinking whiskey, and he's just smooth as all hell.
He's the smoothest, manliest guy. I can tell you, as a dude with a similar haircut, if you can pull off this haircut, you got energy.
It works.
And he kind of leans in and talks to you, and he there's no pretense, there's no walls, and he's so like disarming that you find yourself being like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about your life, dude. This is interesting. Yeah.
I fully agree with you. I think Wiper is the one of yours who is the horny role player, and then as far as an actual person, I do the cricket.
And Wiper is just like he's just getting it all around when he's in the game. Everyone wants to be with the paladin Wiper.
Yeah.
Like obviously, look at him. The man is hot as hell.
Okay.
Mine would be Queen. Queen is already pretty horny, and he's also a bard.
Yeah.
So God, yeah, and he's going around. It's like his literal song in the story is, "If I was thinner, I'd be too damn hot." So that's why I'm fat. That's why I'm big. Yeah.
It feels like the easiest answer. I also did debate because of Bard Gerd, and like it's so difficult because the type of person who spends all their time convincing people no, not like that, either it actually is no, not like that, or it's not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's different flavors of bard as well. Not all bards have to be horny.
Which is why I went with road. I feel like it's more road, but I think with you, it's the bard. It's queen. It's queen for sure.
Yeah, or Lilith. Lilith might also be, but like I say queen.
I think queen is, first of all, he's giving full buy. I think he picks up anything he wants.
Absolutely.
He sings a song, he controls a room, he walks around, and everyone in there is like, yeah, I didn't think I was gay, but maybe I am.
Queen strikes me as the type of dude who is in D&D and is the I want to roll to seduce the dragon. That's the vibe I get.
Oh yeah, he would definitely do that 100%. But yeah, he would go into a tavern, sing a song, distract everybody while like Judge is robbing the place dry or whatever. And yeah, some guys and some gals like go up to him and just like, oh, that was an amazing song. And he goes off into an upstairs area with both of them and just
fade to black.
Slowly fades to black. You know, there you go. And then he shows up at the hideout the following day. Like, where are you at? Is like, I was getting my funk on or something like that. Like,
where were you at? Where wasn't I at?
That's perfect.
I'm everywhere with everyone. Now that you've said in a bar, I can see Wiper being a dancer. Like he's dancing with two women at once, spinning them out and in, and just like dipping people out of the way.
I feel like Wiper is a dude whose character looks so much like him.
Yes. 100%. Okay, next problem.
Next one. Yes. So who is either always late or the last to arrive, the hardest person to schedule?
Enaru is, sorry. Yeah, you go first.
No. At this point, I think for the answers, we can just go.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say Enaru because he's so full of himself. It would be so hard. Yeah.
I think mine is York for multiple reasons. One, kind of lazy. Another one, likes to be underestimated, so doesn't like York is a power gamer who doesn't like people to know she's a power gamer. Like she doesn't want people to know all the research she did to make her build. She wants people to think she stumbled into this. And I think because of the wanting to be underestimated, just kind of is lazy, doesn't show up on time, just has slacker energy.
I think mine is Amazon. She's a rogue scout, by the way.
She's also very, she's tiny.
Yeah, Amazon, my troll goblin is a rogue scout.
I need to,
and I see her being the one hardest to nail down because I think in the new world, she's out there trying to get her game on. I don't know, something about her, like now that I'm looking at her, I'm like, I could see her being a player as well in her tiny old self.
I feel like I need to highlight something. Trolls and goblins are different things.
No. When I said I meant she was a treasure goblin, not a troll goblin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So the person obsessed with treasure, you're York. Who do you think it's Caesar in your party, Tekking? Who's the obsessed with treasure player?
Yeah, I could see Caesar or maybe Judge, because Judge is the whole point of him is he had his kingdom. He's like, I want to get my kingdom back. I just want to control the North Blue, guys. Come on.
Actually,
like, that's what he wants. Yeah.
Caesar would be like trying to get the money, but it wouldn't be organized enough. Whereas Judge would have a system.
Mm-hmm.
He'd take it seriously.
He would take it seriously.
You know what? That's kind of the difference. I feel like they'd both be obsessed with money in game. But we've seen how they act with money in real life, and Judge would kind of hoard it and occasionally buy important things, and Caesar would blow it all immediately. He'd be like, look at the Rod of Wonder I bought.
Yeah.
I also feel like Kid would not show up as well occasionally, but Killer would be the one to get him on track for that. Like, hey, man, I want to play this tonight. Let's go. Yeah.
Like, I was going to say the same thing with Usopp, but on the other hand, if Usopp felt important enough in the game, he would keep showing up if he was central enough. But I think if he didn't like the path that he was on at the moment, he might be like, oh, I'm very, very busy. And then Robin would be like a trass in here.
Yep.
Shirahoshi's so early every time that Saul feels awkward about it.
Oh, yeah. It's like, first person there, and it's weird. And it's like, okay, well, we said 6 o'clock. It's 4:40. So
she's just asking questions while he's doing game prep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
On that note, Frostfire had a good question of who is bringing the snacks and what are they, if you want to elaborate on them.
Kuma would be bringing the snacks. Definitely, they'd be decent snacks. I feel like Lilith would bring like super spicy prank-esque snacks, sort of stuff. Like, one thing we had at our table that was really fun. You ever hear the Dorito roulette?
No.
Yeah, they're bags of Doritos that, like, most of them are just nacho cheese, but occasionally you'll get a ghost pepper chili one.
Oh, damn. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fun. That she would bring stuff like that.
That's amazing, and I would go to that.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, sorry, you go.
Okay, so I think for me that it's, I think twofold here. I think number one, Mont Blanc would bring whatever the last person he was with had in their house.
Yeah, there you go.
He would like
We've
be at their
developed the
house,
slutty Mont Blanc lore.
Just is. There's no way you can look at that man and tell me he is not out there getting it on every night.
Never
lights
thought
a
about
cigarette so sensually.
I've never thought about it, but you're so fucking right, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Yes, and so for
right.
me, it's like he wakes up in the morning and he's like, "Do you have anything in here? I got to head off to this game that I run, and it's kind of important. I'm kind of finding out the history of my ancestors." And then they're like, "Oh, let me just put something together." And sometimes it's like absolute shit, whatever was left, and sometimes it's just pure delight.
I'm picturing him doing all this with just a pair of like denim jeans on, like he's shirtless when he wakes up. He's just like, I gotta head off and do my DMs thing. It's like, oh my God, Cricket, calm down.
You have nailed the energy.
I feel like I'm looking over my list, and I think I can tell an exact story of what happens, which is Okiku's too kind not to bring something. Shirahoshi, too nervous not to bring something. Road brings nothing. Katakuri brings nothing. York brings nothing. Saul provides like chips, and then what actually happens is York eats it all before anyone can get any of what everybody brought, and they all just eat mochi. That's every time. Every time they all have to eat mochi.
Every time.
Because like
that's kind of amazing.
Literally, it's all gone. York ate it all. Sorry, there's no snacks left. It's mochi.
Someone said Wiper would barbecue, and I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that 100%.
I stand by that Akainu is the true grill dad of One Piece.
Yeah, he would be the grill king or whatever it is. Yeah, the grill master. But no, Kuma, okay, so Kuma is actually going to go out of his way to actually make something. He would make like a pie for the table. Like he would spend the time necessary to make a double-decker like chocolate cake before the thing.
You know what? I have a game I'm running right now that has a pie person who's brought pie that he made to several games now.
Whenever my friends come down here, I'll make like karage or something. I'll like deep fry stuff. I'll perform
like you put in the effort.
Oh, I love cooking. I love it. Yeah.
So
we did dumpling night.
You're Kuma.
Yeah, basically. I guess. I make salads. They're fun. Yeah.
Are you good at making dumplings?
So the dumplings I've made come from a website that's really cool because they gave you a little steamer basket to make on the stove. Yeah, I've never made my own dumplings, but I do. And I also, one thing I am going to try to make, I have a pizza stone. I've never done it, is actually make a pizza from scratch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've never done it before, but I love deep frying stuff and making we made like these spicy hot honey, like Japanese fried chicken. It's so good.
Hey, Tekking, you want to come visit up in BC for no reason?
Absolutely. I'll do that. I would love to go to British Columbia. I want to go to Canada so bad.
It is lovely. Yeah. And hey, I'm about to move into a place with a lovely guest room. So if you ever want to see the area, you are
absolutely.
welcome.
If I'm ever in Canada, I will hit you up. That would be awesome.
Hell yeah. All right.
Well, you would need to pack for that. And just as we need to pack for what is the most what does everyone need at a D&D party? Dice. Yeah. Silver Moon has asked everyone needs a dice goblin. Who's bringing the most dice?
Yes.
Oh.
Killer would have to be, because Kid's always going to forget, so Killer has to have extra dice anyway, so he'll just bring that. Yeah.
I think my answer might surprise you.
Uh-huh.
But if you think about it, you'll see that I'm right. It's Nico Robin. I think that
makes sense.
Nico Robin has like a really beautiful case, and inside of it, lined up on top of like velvet, is just all these different types of dice she got. And it's just an absolutely beautiful to look at case. And her dice are all like chef's kiss.
I've never thought about this, but you have made me realize something about Nico Robin, that if Nico Robin was in real life, her, despite being an actual scientist and not believing the science, she is a crystal girly who learns all of the esoteric things about crystals, not believing in it, but just likes to know about it and likes to collect and be like, this is a healing crystal. Do you believe that? No, but it is. Okay.
And they're absolutely right. They were like, she would roll one dice in each hand. She'd do like dice tricks in between. Oh, she'd be so my dice girly.
That would be perfect.
So I feel like Saul is the type of DM to bring enough dice that everyone can have a full 7 set.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that would be Saul.
Yeah,
Saul would make sure.
But he's an old school gamer, right? He's not part of the new school fancy dice company collecting piles of dice. He's like guy who played D&D in the 80s. He's got his monocolor, simple, plastic, white numbered die. And then York out here is fucking inventing new materials to make dice out of. Absolute dice gremlin. She brings a chest full of the fuckers. She's got like 30 different organized sets ready to go every given day. And it's
like a case that keeps folding out in more ways. Like it folds and then folds and then folds again. Yeah. You know? I just realized the problem with mine is that there would have to be a standing house rule, and it's no metal dice because kid could cheese the results every single time.
That's so fucking funny. Third session in, and kid tries to roll his metal dice, and they go, "Hey, bud, can't help but notice you're getting a lot of 20s."
It would be, so the first session they would sit down and play, and it'd be like, wow, kid, you're rolling really, really well. Like you're getting 19s and 20s on every single roll. By the third or fourth session, they'd be like, this is bullshit. You need to stop doing that. No more metal dice.
I think my husband is kid. He rolled 10 pairs last night while playing backgammon together.
That's crazy. That's insane.
10 pairs. And I was like, you're cheating, you rat bastard. I think he actually is.
I feel like I genuinely thought about would York cheat, and I realized I don't think so for a really particular reason, which is weighted dice aren't seen as high status because they're a faulty product. And I think she wants her dice to be valuable enough that they're all perfectly balanced so that they're worth more.
Yep.
I think that makes sense. Somebody told me that Usopp would probably, with Frankie, be making dice on the offside on the boat and then bringing
They could do that.
I see that. I see that.
Chasing Chopper out of the room because he's an animal, so he's sensitive to the resin polymer in the air.
Get out of here! Get out! You're gonna die! Wear this mask! And Chopper being like, I just want to be a part of it.
Oh, that's actually adorable. Do we have more questions, or should we?
Yeah, we're gonna do 2 more questions. So one of the first one is going to be the last of. Well, no. We are going to do whose idea was it to start this D&D party?
Oh, that's great.
That one's easy for me, so I'd go first. It was obviously Mont Blanc Cricket. He was in a bar. He was hustling one of his favorite people. They hadn't seen each other in about a year and a half. She came out to Jaya, was hanging out, and she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you found proof. Like, you've been working for so long. And he was like, but there's so many unanswered questions. And then he was watching some people nerd out in the corner playing D&D together, and he was like, dude, I got an idea. It's time to get the gang back together. It's time to meet this person that Luffy told me about. I'm going to get Wiper involved. I'm going to pull everyone in, and we are going to solve this puzzle. There's still more to know.
There it is.
I like it.
That's perfect.
Tekken, do you want to go?
I just thought of the perfect one. So Judge and Caesar form Neomads together, and they're going over this plan of like, okay, now what's our first thing to do? And they're battling, like forming like an actual plan involving like taking over the world and everything. But Judge is also happy because his children have like no emotions. So he's actually a secret nerd that's always wanted to play D&D, but he's in a place with like, he can ask the clone soldiers to do it, but that's just not fun. So it's like, hey, Caesar, I was also thinking sometime maybe we could maybe have a game night. Like maybe if you're into it, we could play D&D sometime. I have like he pulls out like a bunch of dice and like all of the stuff he had for years, but he just never had anybody to play with. And then through the connections, they eventually invite Kid and Killer and Eneru and Queen and Lilith, and that's how it goes down. It's because Judge was a secret nerd the entire time.
It's gold.
I'm gonna.
A secret nerd is my favorite lore for him.
Yes,
love the idea of Judge having even more.
Just wait. one of the reasons that it's so good is thinking about the fact that there's this comic book for the family and that he would be the one out there hoarding it. And like every time a new edition comes out, he's like,
has every copy.
He's so excited. He's got every copy, but it's hidden behind a secret.
No, it's a vault. It's a vault in his office. The most secure room in the entire organization is that vault.
Yes.
Yeah, no one ever gets to know, but he looks at his pristine copies and is like, oh my God, look at them.
I love this so much because I love how many times Judge is fucked over by his hubris. And I love the idea of like, the only people in my fucking country are clones who do everything I say. My kids can't be emotionally invested in anything. He's been trying to play for years. And like, he's basically been playing by himself with the clone soldiers because he's like, they're like, what do you want me to do, sir? And he's like, well, you're supposed to like do something. Like what?
Yeah, pick a class.
Well, then I attack.
What class? Well, you could be wizard. Okay, I'll be a wizard. No, you should pick what you want. Okay.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. So what I've come up with for how mine started is it's a combination of people, and I'm gonna credit it to Gerd, Road, Saul, and Nico Robin. Because here's how I'm seeing it, right? Is they are hanging out in the library, Saul and Robin, and Gerd and Road have been arguing because they've been trying to start a game with the new Giant Warrior Pirates, but Haruden has no fucking interest. He is not. Oh, this is something I wanted to bring up earlier is I think we all did a great job because something that's important is you have to pick characters that feel like they would invest in this, like that they would take this seriously, put their energy in. And I think like Tekking pointed out that the only one who wouldn't immediately...
Anaru is probably,
well, you pointed out Anaru and Kid, but you gave them reasons that they would over time. Like...
Yeah, and I think like Anaru would be sold on it just because like I don't want to go play this stupid game. You get to be a god in it. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But can I worship myself?
I think Gerd and Road both strike me as people who would so fucking do this, but they don't have friends who would play it with them. So they're talking about this at the same time that Nico Robin has found this old One Piece world version of D&D book in the library. Like, what is this? Like, this is not Saul, and it's like an old edition that nobody plays anymore. And Saul's like, oh, that's from my college days. And is going over it with her, and Gerd and Road over here this, I'm like, oh my God, we should play. And he's like, well, I don't really know anybody. And Robin's like, I know some people you could invite. And Saul is like, oh, do you want to? And we're gonna say that it's because it's the same night, but I just wanted giants because otherwise it was weird to have the little figures that are people. But then you just have them getting to like, oh yeah, who would you invite? Well, here's some people that I know. There's this guy my captain beat up who seems like he'd be into it. Gets the list out. They get everybody together. Great time for everybody. But yeah, I think it was the four of them in the library at the same time that did it.
There you go.
Amazing.
Excellent. So for the last question, the general party question comes from Sam Fisher. Party crashers. So to tailor it to D&D, who is the person? We all know it's kind of uncomfortable. Mama especially knows this, that it's kind of uncomfortable to have someone just sitting in or a guest that you don't really know or you do kind of know. So who would be the worst person for that to be for each party?
I got one. If you guys want to go, you can go.
You go first.
All right. So this is a character I was going to pick. He's a movie character. It's Douglas Bullet from Stampede. So, because he is just this extraordinary, he has no character in the movie. He's just a big, tough guy that hits things really hard. So he'd be there, but he has a devil fruit that also involves like, it's the Gasha Gasha no Mi. So it involves mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he'd be there, but, he would be the character, like, even if he was like not sitting in, if he was playing, it would get to him and be like, what do you want to do, Douglas? And he's actually super nervous and he doesn't know what to do. So he would just be like, and he wouldn't say anything and you have to just skip around him. He wouldn't really be playing the game, but he would be intimidating as hell. You know, that would be him.
Okay, I like that pick. Damn. Drawk, you're next.
I'm going to pick Haruden because of the reason I said that I think he'd be, I think I want to pick someone who'd be likely to sit in, which is why I think Douglas Bullet makes sense for you, Tekking. And it's Haruden because he's lonely one day and he's like, what are Gerd and Road doing? And he goes to hang out and he just I think he'd just make it worse. He just exclusive because he'd be like, "This is dumb. Why aren't you hitting things for real? This is stupid. What are you doing?
Yeah,
why do you care about this?"
I'm gonna go hang out with Stanson.
Stanson's busy cooking, and he's like, "Oh, this sucks too." He is literally just there because he's pouty and bored, and is actually making everything worse for everybody.
Yep.
Okay, this one is hard for me. Because the people that I invited to my game get along, but it would have to be somebody who just like fits poorly. Because my people are good. Although Robin would punch. I mean, obviously Charlos would be the worst person, but like,
yeah, I mean, like, the worst individual would be like Garling or somebody, but like, yeah,
it's got to be someone that makes sense to be there. I think for it to be a fun answer. Otherwise, it's just what One Piece character sucks the most.
Actually, I thought of the perfect one. Actually, I don't think you could use this character, but it would be Bellamy.
For my party,
that'd be so awkward.
Funny to say that. Because I thought of Bellamy, but we already used him. But then I was going to ask, are we allowed to use a character that we've used?
Yeah, it's a question. It's a question answer.
Well, then, no, that's a no-brainer. It is Bellamy, though, 100%.
Yeah.
It's incredibly fucking awkward.
I had Bellamy down in Jaya. But it would have to be Bellamy pre-finding himself and quietly doing laps and sitting quietly in a room and becoming the...
Old man Chestnut, do you remember when I kicked your fucking ass?
Exactly.
No, he would also be just like, it's like, Mont Blanc Cricket would be like, yes, you're in this magical wonderland. It'd be like, that's bullshit. That doesn't exist.
I'm not
what are you guys
here.
doing? Playing pretend.
I'm in a room, you dumb old man.
Yeah, you do that really well.
Bellamy,
I don't know why it's the only impression I could do for
One Piece. Would be the very, very worst person ever. It would be horrifying, and if we're allowed to use them, that's obviously
I think
the direction.
No, you're allowed to use someone we've used up off the list to be a bad sit-in.
I feel bad about it because, like, new-timey Bellamy is such a good dude and went through such a
he's all right. He went through the trials.
So now I feel a little bad about it.
I so desperately want to be like, but they'd turn it around. They'd get Haruden invested eventually, but I don't know if they could. He just strikes me as so no nonsense that I don't know if they could make Haruden be invested in this game.
Well, here's the thing. There's a friend I have that does not watch like anime or doesn't play tabletop games. He's not a nerd. And I'm curious, like he's not interested in playing D&D at all, but I'm just like, try it out once. I'm kind of curious if you'd like it, just because you have no interest in it. Maybe you would be somewhat good at it. I don't know.
Some people
I just have this feeling. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I have friends like that who, for whatever reason, despite not being a nerd at all in most ways, like D&D does speak to something in them. Harden doesn't strike me as that guy,
Yeah, no.
I can't spin it. Do we want to start the poll? Is there anything else we feel like we need to say? I just want to make sure we're not leaving regrets on the table.
What we like about each other's teams.
I thought we were doing that at the end because we've been doing it the whole time, but we can.
So during the poll, you guys are going to put together, we're going to do a 10-minute poll. Dr. Jack, you can get that up right now if that's available. Thank you so much. We are going to do a 10-minute poll. You guys are going to combine your parties for what would be the ultimate.
Yeah, who we want to bring from each
party
to make the ultimate.
All right.
Oh man, that is.
Oh wait, we're combining all of them, or just so we still only have 6 characters each?
Yes,
still only have 6 characters, so it's 2 from each of ours.
2 from each of us. Okay.
I just realized because I gave you a green shirt, cartoon Tekking just looks like Shaggy.
That's perfect. I actually like that. Oh, I could cosplay. I should go as Shaggy for Halloween this year. Yeah.
You could.
Especially if you can do your goatee.
Yes, I have to grow it out a little bit more, but I've only not shaved for a week and it's like this, so I think I'll be all right by then.
I think you'll be good. I think you could Shaggy it up.
Yeah.
So
you might actually have to pare it down a little bit to make it a little less.
Yeah, I'll make it work. I can figure this out.
Can I suggest something to make this a little interesting for combining the parties? That we have to include all of our DMs and pick between us who we think is, and this doesn't say the best DM overall, but who is the best DM for a mixed group outside of our particular group. So I think Cricket, Lilith, and Saul are all in our combined party, and which one do we want to be running it? And let's just say
okay, they have to be in the party.
I'm so sorry. Before you continue, Ozzy Llewellyn is asking, are we voting for the best game, the best party to watch, or the best party to join? And if you want to get into that.
We said early on, but we said it very briefly. You are voting for which one you want to sit in on. So say that these are all an actual play show that's streamed out on Transponder Snail. Which one do you want to be the live studio audience for? What do you want to, the way Tekking put it was, which one do you want to be the Harmon Quest audience for?
Yeah, the Harmon Quest thing,
in the room, hanging out, being a part of it.
Watching this happen.
Yeah. Well, in my case, you're not going to be in a room. Sorry, guys.
I find this so interesting because, like, I like to, in these in the party piece, I like to be the aggressive one, and I just don't really have points to make in that because I really love what both of you did. I want mine to be the best, but, like, I really, really like both of yours a lot.
I think that
start joining them.
Hard to pick who is going to be the best DM out of these. Like, I think Jaguar's got a lot of points, but I don't know if he would be sometimes mean enough to do the thing a DM needs to do.
Well, Lilith definitely would be, and she knows every single rule. She doesn't even have to look at a book. She just the entire monster manual is downloaded in her brain. She has everything.
Worried that Lilith would actually be too mean or just perfect.
Yeah.
I think that Mont Blanc would be amazing, except for sometimes he'd be a little too casual.
Yeah, he definitely has more of that casual energy. I feel like, to me,
he's very invested in my game because it really has a lot to do with him and his life and his ancestry. But I just don't know if in a regular game.
Let's do democracy in each vote, but you can't vote for your own. I am gonna vote for Lilith because of what you said there.
Yeah.
I mean, except for this person, like they said, she might be an unreliable narrator. But on the other hand, she would keep shit fun.
She would keep it rolling. She might fudge a roll every now and then to have some more extra damage laid down if, she's feeling like her encounter isn't strong enough. But, she would, it was just the flow of the game would be perfect. Nobody would have to check everything. She would have all the math instantaneously.
I do like that.
Yeah, she wouldn't even have to take notes for initiative order. She would just remember it. It's perfect.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, God. It would be like,
God, that would speed me up. I'm jealous that I can't do it now.
Me too, man. This is pissing me off. Why does she get to have a giant brain center internet thing?
You know what? I think it's true. I think that even though they're right, Mont Blanc is a rule of cool DM. Saul would be sweet as hell, but he has worked for the government. I do think the idea that Lilith has a computer brain and can and the ability to have cool tech. So like, there's going to be really interesting things. And you want to, we're down on the beach now. Oh, look, now it smells like the beach. So like, I think
she would have an instantly like the tabletop board would be like she would modify the table to make it be like LEDs. So she just it's a beach. Oh, now you're in a cave. Oh, now you're in this section of the cave.
Can I just say, when I think of vibe, I feel like Saul and Cricket to me both exactly feel like the vibe of old school D&D, and Lilith feels to me the exact vibe of modern D&D.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like if you've played D&D at a game store, you've played with a girl who looks like Lilith.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's perfect. Okay, do you ever do something in a campaign where it's like, I want to do something like I'm going to throw the alchemist fire in an arch, and you got to stop for 10 minutes to figure out like the degree of the arch and how you're throwing it? Lilith does that instantaneously. She's like, oh, you're throwing it that direction? Okay, it lands there, and it does this much spread damage to this area.
So we're saying Lilith is the co-DM. I'm going to briefly say then what Saul, if I switched up if I rotated and made Saul a player, because I had some plans if I had a different DM, because someone took one of my important people. I was going to do that. As a player, I was going to have him be the most basic human fighter with my village got burnt down backstory. The cheek basic fighter.
I was going to have Usopp, obviously, as a DM, using all of his plant awesomeness to create like a great jungle vibe and all of his little like pop-offs and fires and fireworks and like, because I think Usopp would love to be the little engineer of awesomeness and just put things up. But
so who do you see?
There's something about Mont Blanc pulling them together. But I think, yes, Lilith is the first one.
Who do you see Mont Blanc as a player then? What's he doing?
Mont Blanc, I want him to... I gotta quit saying this. I can't even look at him anymore in my head without.
Yeah, no, he's too sexy now.
He's a slutty bard now.
Dude. And so now he's paladined me, or like he's giving me like sly, bombastic side eye as he walks into the bush as a rogue. I
think. Oh my God. Doesn't matter what class he is. He's giving the sly eye no matter what.
Yeah, so he just a little side eye and walks off into the bush.
Like as a druid. Oh my God. It's even he's even more of it like as a druid.
Okay, let's make the druid. Let's do it.
So which of your other people are you bringing in to this from your list? Who else you bring into our combined party? For mine, I just think no one is going to enjoy it more than Shirahoshi. So that's who I'm bringing.
Yeah.
Aww. Okay, who are you bringing, Tekking?
Yeah, I think an Eneru Queen, just because Queen for the fun element, because he would do everything. He's an evil dude, but he would do it in like a flare, you know? And then also Eneru is just because the whole party would hate him. He would be the character everyone would like turn on at some point, but there's some shenanigans to be had there.
The I feel like I have to invite is Usopp.
Okay.
I feel like Usopp would be crushed in his soul if he wasn't part of this group type thing. But really, it's weird because I think but Nico Robin. Oh God, this is hard. I think for me, it's gonna be Nico Robin.
Okay. Oh, Nico Robin and Saul get to play together.
Because
that's nice.
What I'm thinking about is like you have to bring Saul. So if I didn't bring Nico Robin, can you imagine? Like, ugh. They would get to do such a fun thing together. That'd be a great one. So who would that be? That would be Lilith at the top.
Yep.
Being an absolute like taskmaster.
I would play in a campaign by any of these three, by the way. I feel like they all have such a good energy for a DM. Kudos to us.
I would probably die if I played in this, but like, cause just, they could kill you, but it would still be fun before you die.
Lie. I think this is one of the best party pieces as far as putting together some really good parties.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm feeling
these
like
are all so great though.
Let me think. We need one last person and we can't be even on this one. So let's do the thing again where we see if anyone can agree on someone else's party who you'd bring. This is tough between your two parties. I
really like Okiku. Wait, did you already pick her?
No.
No, he picked Shirahoshi.
I picked Shirahoshi. If I have to pick one of yours,
Okiku.
It's hard not to pick Wiper so that he can be with Cricket, but I also really fucking like Kuma as a presence, especially in a Lilith game.
Well, Kuma's amazing all the time. I was thinking Kuma on that list, but because we created a backstory that never existed for Judge, now I just kind of feel like I feel like a shithead if he didn't get to come out and live out his comic hero dreams.
There it is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would pick Judge off of Tekking's list.
Don't feel too bad. He is an abusive father, but
I know he's
he is still a piece of shit.
He's an ass from Asshat in Assville, but he's still.
All right. I think the only way to settle it is anyone willing to compromise on what they heard as someone else's pick and just go with them and bring them in?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Who you picking then, Tekken? Who you bringing in?
Let's do Shirahoshi.
No, I already brought Shirahoshi. We got for the last one for the 7th. Sorry.
For the 7th.
You already have. Hold on. You have 6. You're bringing Saul, Shirahoshi.
Do we have enough?
We need 7 because we need 6 plus DM. Oh. The Tekking?
Oh, because you crossed off Usopp. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tekking, congratulations. The poll is over. You got over half the vote.
Jeez, sorry.
Look, no, I expected you to win. Yours was great. 53% is crazy.
I went with the idea that people would love a chaotic, evil group better, just because it's more interesting.
No, I feel you. Yeah. This is good.
Make sure that you look at our YouTube because the voting happens in there. The people go into the comments and then they do a second vote. Then we combine them.
I will check that out then and see where that goes. Yes.
Hey, Tekking, thank you so goddamn much. Sorry, this is chaotic. We haven't figured it all out yet.
No. This was a blast. Thank you so much. I would love to come back on sometime, so just let me know.
We would love to have you.
We obviously are going to want to go through like a few guests, make sure we're not just having one person, but when we've done a few other people, we would love to have you back.
Just let me know. Anytime, just let me know, man.
So
We also said that we wanted to have Tekking on for our. We're going back through One Piece and we're asking people in the One Piece world what arc they kind of like weirdly have a connection to.
Impel Down.
Yours is Impel Down. Mine is Impel Down.
Yeah.
Did we already have someone pick Impel Down or no?
Probably because it's such a good arc.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then perfect. So I am connected to that arc because that's the arc that got me back into One Piece. Aww. I watched the 4 Kids stuff when I was a little kid.
Before your Drawk, Tekking went away in the corner.
Oh my God, Tekking died? When did that happen?
Well, it had to happen sooner or later.
Okay, I fixed it. He's back.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
So I watched like the 4 Kids stuff when I was a little kid, right? And that got me up to like Skypiea or something. Didn't watch or read One Piece for years and years, and then I started reading manga. Started reading Bleach first, then Naruto. And I remember it was like sophomore year of high school. It was the chapter Minotaurus when he shows up in level 3 and Bon Clay and Luffy are fighting him. That was the chapter that I started reading One Piece weekly again, and it's been that consistent all the way up till current. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So if you want to, we're doing a show where we're bringing people back in and we're letting people pick. We accidentally have 2 people now on one arc. And we're letting people pick their arc to come onto the show and talk about what makes it so magical.
I can absolutely, I'll come on, absolutely.
That's amazing.
You want us to pen you in for Impel Down?
Absolutely. Where are you guys at right now?
We're just starting.
You're just starting. Yeah, okay.
We're basically building up our guest list and then we're going to start.
Okay. Yeah, it works for me. Yeah.
So there is a dude online who makes drinks and talks about media, and he loves the beginning in East Blue. So I think we're going to ask him if he wants to come on. We're just trying to find somebody who loves the beginning enough because we want to go through it in order, but everybody wants to pick something a little later.
Yeah, everybody wants that. Like, I mean, East Blue is great, but I don't see a lot of people picking like, Romance Dawn itself as that's their favorite part of the story.
The good news from us is he's just starting, so we're cheating.
There you go. That's the idea. Yeah, that's how you do it. You got to cheat.
So do you want to spin for the new party and then we can say goodbye?
Yeah, what I was going to say is, we're trying to have a quicker wrap up to these. So we should jump to selecting the next party.
Okay.
And Tekking, you get to choose. We're going to roll 3 times and you get to choose which one of the 3 parties you think is best.
Works for me. Thank you all for inviting me on. Nice to meet you, Lav and Drak. I met Drak and Mama Drak before. But nice to talk to you all again.
Thank you
nice
so
to talk
much.
to you as well. Where did I put list? Where is list? Sorry, note servers are party prompts.
I'm going to tell you, I think it's hilarious because it's the Drawk show and you call him Drak and everyone loves it and they keep saying it's Drak in time.
Yeah, I'm messing up the pronunciation there. Sorry, dude.
Oh, did you see how many times I messed up the name of one person? I'm not even going to say it. That's how terrified I am.
I have mispronounced the names of my regular chatters so often that I could not begin to judge.
Okay, you ready? Where's my spinner?
I am going to bring up the wheel after this ad that I can get rid of because it's in the way of the wheel right now.
I'll talk about Isa.
Okay. Where did I put the wheel?
Oh yeah, Momo was the other one I messed up all the time. Chat's right.
Momonosuke. Yeah.
Momonosuke. That's what I would mess up every time. And
I remember a weird one from the 4 Kids dub was they pronounced Vivi as Vivi.
Yeah.
The long E sounds.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a great sound. I bet she loved that name.
Wheel of names. There we go. The wheel is here. We're going to skip in 3 times. We're going to get 3 different prompts. And Tekking, you are going to send us off to our next guest in style and get to either bless or curse us with your choice. So.
Gotcha. Thank you. Also, thank you for the awesome artwork of me and Lilith there. Problem. That looks amazing.
Because there's a lot more time where I'm like writing stuff. I can't fully finish it on stream like I normally do. So I'll finish that later off stream and I'll send that to you so that you can have a nice little JPEG to remember us by.
Thank you so much for making me Shaggy. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I love Scooby-Doo.
You get to be Norval Rogers.
Norval Rogers, yeah. Norval Shaggy Rogers.
This ad is so persistent. Normally the wheel just
works.
I
really want to ride on a bike through Universal Studios.
We do. All right, you know what? We're just
roll it. Just roll it. It's fine.
We're just going with the ad.
Yeah. We're just being sponsored by Universal.
Honky Tonk Party. No.
All right. Well, that one kind of has to win, but we'll see the other 2 just for the sake of completion. Yeah.
We need to find a Southern One Piece fan if we pick that.
That one is, yeah. Okay.
Why did we put these on? Fancy costume party.
Okay, that one is appealing too. That one is appealing too. A fancy, I would say, if I get to decide, fancy costume party sounds like a masquerade party to me.
Yeah, it does. It does, yeah. Okay.
A Victorian era masquerade party, yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Okay. Oh.
And just a generic sleepover. I gotta go with the honky tonk. I gotta. Yeah.
Of course.
If it's a choice between fancy masquerade or honky tonk, I mean that's just so fucking.
Okay.
For anyone not North American enough, that's just like basically like square dancing, barnyard. Southern straw on
lots
the
of
ground,
Jack Daniels and beer,
live acoustic guitar.
Yep.
Banjo, and more banjo, and a lot of gingham.
Oh my god, this is gonna be
so yeehaw! It's honky tonk time.
It's gonna be an episode.
See, I live in Pennsylvania, which is in the north, but everything in the middle of Pennsylvania between Pittsburgh and Philly is essentially Alabama. So there's a lot of country vibes here in Appalachia. From southern, vibes too. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Tekking, do you know a southern One Piece creator that would be good to recommend to us, or are we on our own?
Somebody pointed out in the chat, Murphy is from Kentucky. So
okay, really? So it's Murph.
Okay.
I can't think of maybe somebody from Florida, but Florida is like a different planet from the rest of the South. It's
only northern Florida is the South.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. The little panhandle part, that is the South.
Northern Florida is
like
the South. The rest of it is
kind of place. Yeah. Like Miami is not the same as American South if you're not from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Miami and like Atlanta are very different places.
No, that's a very different South.
My uncle lives outside of Atlanta, so I have a whole like section of my family that lived down
there. That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to go visit them. I think we're gonna go next year. One of my cousins is getting married.
Okay.
So
you're gonna have to give us a whole lowdown of what it's like.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've been down there. I've been down there since I was a little kid, so I'm excited to go down to Georgia again.
Oh, that's right.
See how it's changed.
Thank you so much, Tekking, for being here. Do you want to, on your way out, plug again? I have to imagine there's very few people who watch this and don't know who you are. But what if?
I love that comment. I'm in Florida. The more north you go, the more southern it gets. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, look, it doesn't make sense, but it's true.
It makes sense. Okay, so I have a main channel, TEKKING101. I have a side channel, TEKKING1001. I don't update on that too much, although I actually I want to do a video on Castlevania Nocturne Season 2. I don't know if I'm going to upload that on the side or the main because I really love that show and I just want to talk about it.
It's really cool.
It's so good. And then also Boncast, which is a Bleach themed one. I am going to be doing a video at some point on Isshin and Ryukin from the last arc at some point. That's my next video. It's going to be up on there. But yeah, that's mainly what I do there.
And then you need that new channel, Tekking 10.1, where you're
10.1, yeah.
Honestly,
and you play cool jazz tunes and you swirl some nice liquid and you talk like Shaggy.
I need that and I need a fancy bartending channel.
Yeah. Honestly, Tekking, I don't know if you watch the YouTuber Big Joel, but he has a channel called Little Joel where he just makes tiny little videos about his thoughts. And I feel like that'd be Tekking 10.1 is just like your channel where you do like 2-minute videos just talking about whatever
just
you
short.
feel like. Yeah. It's just a short channel, Tekking 10.1.
Yeah, I could do a short thing where it's like, I was hungry at 1 a.m., so I combined taco meat with grilled cheese, and it was really good.
That does sound good, though.
Crazy.
Actually, it was really good. I did that one night. It was really good.
Thank you so much.
Oh, man, I'm hungry for that. I could go for that right now, actually. That was...
Thank you
Maybe
so
that's
much
your
for
dinner
being
now,
here, dude. It was a blast.
Of course. No, this was a blast. You guys, it was all fun.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, we really enjoyed meeting you, and we were so glad that you agreed to come on. We look forward to seeing you for my favorite arc when we coming around. We'll let you know. And as soon as we've had a couple of other people on, we're going to pull you back in because I'm not going to lie. This D&D was one of the most fun arcs we've ever done.
This was a blast.
Great presence. And immediately when we started, and you said, Lilith is your DM, I was like, fuck.
I was like, okay, I hope they don't pick the literal smartest person in the story.
I'd already used her up. She's on my ban list.
No. That was my idea. That was my plan. Because I was like, wait a minute, there's like 7 of them. So even if somebody picked Lilith, I could be like, all right, Shock is the DM. Same thing, kind of, except he's good. I'd have to actually.
You'd have to
no,
do
I'd have to reverse everything.
Yep.
I'd have to reverse everything. Maybe Atlas, but like, yeah, I'd have to redo it. But yeah, Lilith was the best pick.
One's like, oh my God, there's Barry. There's Barry.
There's Barry on the side. Yay. Barry.
We can't not have Barry on the DM screen. That's important.
Yeah, he's back here.
Barry's amazing. All right.
I love Barry. all right. Thank you all for having me on.
Mama, do you want to say what we're doing next week?
Oh yeah, leave it next week.
In the texts.
Sorry. So next week we are going to be doing a couple of things. One of them is, I think all of you have heard, we're about to be done with Undead Unluck, which is kind of crazy.
It's ending. Yep.
Like, who can even believe it? So next Sunday we are going to do an Undead Unluck catch up because we haven't done it in a while. We're going to be doing a Patreon stream on Tuesday, the January 28th. And I think we are going to read out loud the last chapter of Undead Unluck together in the stream. And then I just want to thank all of our mods for all the work they did here today, and thank Tekking again, because that was so much fun. And then we're going to be getting into our One Piece stream, taking people through arcs soon. And so we had a great time having you here today.
I had a great time being here. Thanks for the invite. Yep.
Close it up, Drawk.
Do we have a special outro for this one? I can't remember.
Rock on.
One.
Is it just rock on?
Okay,
That's
let's
it?
make one right now.
Well,
everybody.
Squishies aren't called squishies.
They're not fucking.
No, they're party people in this episode. Good
Yo,
try,
what's
though.
up, party people? Till next time. Party on.
Squish
Is
on
that good?
squishies.
Do we like that? Do we
I
like it?
that.
Is it?
That's a good one.
It's been lovely
Party
talking to you.
Talking to you.
That's the usual outro, and that one I love. It's the right kind of cheesy.
Bye. Oh, dude, you need to do. Yeah, I could also see like '90s radio host. Welcome back to Shock Jock Drawk.
Oh, that's
Drawk
not bad.
show.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't have a.
We got a raid.
I
forgot we got a raid. It's Twitch.
Raid Oak Tea. Raid Oak Tea.
Oh yeah, no. Let's send everybody Oak. Oak's great. She draws hot anime ladies and plays the kazoo.
And
plays the kazoo.
It's
the kazoo is an underrated instrument.
It's what she does when you raid her. She plays a kazoo to celebrate raiders. It's really adorable. It honestly encourages you to keep raiding her. You get to see hot anime ladies every time. Kazoo.
You get more kazoo.
Oak Tea party on the way.
All right.
Okay. What are you gonna do now? Make a
For
combination.
Real, everybody. Until next time. Been lovely talking to you. Bye.